This is the Mountainside Podcast, and my friend Luke Caudillo is back in studio to join us for this episode. Luke is a former UFC veteran, creator of Gladiators Unleashed, host of the GU Unfiltered podcast, avid outdoorsman, bow hunter, and just an all-around great dude. I love spending time with Luke. I always enjoy having him in studio. You know that the laughter is going to be rolling whenever Luke is around. He's a great human, and I enjoyed sitting down with him to record this episode.
Hey, I did that the other day too. I did it the other day. It fucking happened. And then I was like, stop, guys. They're like, what? I was like, I didn't hit record. Like, I hit it, but it doesn't turn red, and I just get caught up in the moment. And then I looked.
I had to put the fail-safe up.
Yeah. Right? 12 minutes later, I'm like, oh, damn, dude. We got to start over.
Well, what it is it when you're recording, it's red.
Yeah.
Okay. I looked down real fast. I went green for go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was an amateur move.
Well, you know, and then I get the cocktails rolling in me, and I'm just all happy and everything, and I'll think I'll hit it and all this, and I'm like, oh man.
Yo, we lost an entire episode 2 hours in because we had a power outage.
Oh. And
I didn't have a battery backup for the audio. Like, the video saved. It stopped and saved. Whatever we have over there stopped and saved it, but the audio got completely wiped.
Yeah, I did that. We had the power out where I'm at, and it flickered off and went back on. I hit record, lost all the first half.
Oh.
And I was like, "Bro, what the hell happened?" So what happened was they didn't save it in the bank on that Roadcaster, and I was like, so then when I hit it again, it
wiped it or something, huh?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Lesson learned.
Well, it's good to see your ass, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for making the journey through
the traffic.
Fucking Armageddon out there.
It is crazy. For being a little small town up here, it's crazy, right?
There's potholes the size of Armageddon out there. I think that's part of it, man. It's all
dude. There's
going
down 285. We were just talking about it. It looks like a big old sinkhole down on the side of the mountain. That, dude, if a semi could fall down in that. They got it all down in one lane too because of all the rain.
Damn.
Yeah, it was not good. That's what shit that scares me. Driving, hit a sinkhole, and gone.
So I have a buddy from high school that he lived up in like Platte Canyon area, and his parents, he lost both of his parents because right when they did the new construction on 285, the whole half the goddamn mountain came down on 285.
On top of them, yeah.
On top of them.
Yeah, just
crazy.
The debris, the wash, everything came off. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch. I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Live in the moment, I guess. Then, right?
I know.
Cheers to that.
I guess that's kind of what I've been doing lately. I've been really living for each day is my last day, and it's crazy on how much you get shit done.
It really is, man. Like,
it's nuts.
I try not to sweat the little shit anymore. Like, we were kind of talking about that before I turned on the mic, like the stresses that come, like, because you have a pretty successful podcast right now, or it's much more successful than this.
Well, it's just, I don't even know if it's the 20, 30 episodes ahead of you. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the dumber rednecks that I got listening to me. I don't know. But
well, I love having you in here, first off, and I just love having you around, dude. That's why this is your third or fourth time, third time, right? Yeah. And last time we were next door, right?
This is our first time in here. It looks nice. It's awesome. You got to move up, right? I know.
You got to keep changing it up, right?
Yeah, you guys got to come over and check mine out now. In fact, I need you guys to come. I need over there to come over my IT guy and take a look at my
Dude, I'm not that guy.
Little
Did you end up getting the same thing?
I got one. I don't know if it's the same one. It looks like it. But it's just sitting there. I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm scared to put it together.
We'll help you out.
But I do got it, and I don't know. It just, man, you know, I try to get everything. You get new cameras, new mics, new stands, new everything, and then it just, you know, it all adds up.
And then goddamn Cameron Haynes puts out a high-level production podcast.
And then I messaged him. I said, hey, dude. What are you trying to do to all us little people?
Yeah.
He goes, you inspired me to do one. And I was like, yeah, apparently. And Derek Wolf's doing one now, too.
That's awesome, man.
I gotta go out on I'm on his tomorrow night.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's starting his tomorrow night, so he asked me to come on, and I said,
I'm going to be listening to that.
I said,
sure.
Are you sure you want me on that thing? And he goes, yes, dude, I do. So,
no, that's awesome,
it's
man.
cool.
And I think that's the best thing about this. Like, I've helped some other people start some. They've asked for some advice, but you've been really transparent too. Like,
I know,
you and it's all about, it's a community,
dude,
right? It's all about
how hard
helping.
it is to start one.
Yeah.
And like I said, like the people that have helped me do mine, I don't know if I'll ever be able to thank them enough, or just being on guest all the time, or a guy like Aaron Snyder for one, and my boy Nestor, and their following that they have has helped me grow so much, like faster. And that's like when I get a lot of people hit me up like, hey, will you be on my podcast? I'm like, yeah, where's that? Oh, it's over the phone. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always say this though, this right here, this one-on-one,
it's the best, man.
There's no replacing that. I mean, for the audio to just the connection of how the podcast goes, this will always be. I always tell people, if you can have that interaction, it's the best way to go.
It's so hard virtually. Even when you hit it off with somebody and like it goes completely flawless virtually, it's still like there's something missing, just a little bit.
And the thing is, don't get me wrong, there's tons of podcasts that do that right now.
Right.
And they don't know any different. I guess, you know what I mean? Like they've never done it. It's all they've done. And yeah, they can get some cool guests doing it and some guys that I should probably do the same thing and get them on, the Zoom or whatever. I like, man, once I start something the way I want to do it, it's just the way it's going to be. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
That's why I got the trailer too, though. So this summer I get to
Oh, that's right. So tell me about that.
So like, I got a toy hauler and I make the back part into a little mobile studio. So now, like, if I'm at TAC or another sporting event or whatever, and there's some cool guys there that I want to podcast with, I'm gonna air it. I'm gonna do it. And I started doing it last year. I got it last year, and I think we ended up doing like 8 or 9 episodes out of that. So it was cool. This year, I'm hoping to run with it. But then again, Justin just got his fight, so it put a little damper in my on my plans this summer. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna. I
haven't heard the news, or I didn't see.
Oh yeah, he's fighting July 29th.
Oh hell yeah,
Salt Lake City. Dustin Poirier.
No way.
Yeah, for the BMF belt.
That's gonna be badass.
Yeah, it's a big fight.
I'll be buying that one.
Yeah, it's definitely it's this card stacked too. So pay-per-view sales will be
Where's
good
it
for
at?
Salt Lake.
Oh shit!
I love that part. Everybody's like, "Why Salt Lake?" And I'm like, "Listen, guys, you guys don't realize we've been across the world for the last few fights.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want to be an hour away, hour and a half away flight. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You
can go home after the fight if you wanted to.
I drive if I want. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And so
I might have to punch my free ticket. I got a buddy that from the staging industry.
Okay.
They build all the octagons. It's a company
nice.
called All Access.
Okay.
So they
That would be a
basically
good
have
one
told
to
them,
do.
they're like, hey, whatever fight you want, we got a ticket for you
Really?
or whatever. So he called me up and he's like, I know you're a fan, so let's go. I was like,
it's a cheap flight too from here.
oh yeah, that's easy. I got so many fucking
Oh,
miles,
you probably got
dude.
miles for days.
I can't
huh?
even.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'd be even better for you. And that's why I'm trying to tell my wife. I'm like, babe, this is the one you should go.
Yeah.
She's only been to one Justice fight, the first one in Vegas, and then she hasn't been back, and she just watches them on TV with the kids and everything. And I'm like, babe, go to one. You get badass tickets. You get to experience everything. Let's go.
VIP too.
And she's like, I don't know, the kids, And I'm like, fuck. I want to have a date. I want to have a date after the fight, But, so I don't know. We'll see. But that's what we're doing July 29th. So we've been in camp now for about a week already. And
that's just around the corner.
10 weeks now. Yeah, we're 10 weeks away. And which is normal for Justin for training. He likes having 10-week camps. And I just feel like Justin's in, he's matured as a fighter, and he is always training now and always in shape. Like before, old Justin would, after a fight, he'd have the old Luke recipe. Like I would take off a month and just
chill,
get fat and drink and do whatever.
Patty Pemberton.
Yeah,
style.
he's changed. You know what I mean? Like he's always been in camp, always helping other fighters now. So he's always now in pretty good shape. And I mean, you guys got to realize, like his last fight was only 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's crazy.
he's good. So I'm excited. And this is a fight that
I'm excited,
he wanted.
man.
Because he lost to Dustin.
Yeah.
That was his third fight in the UFC, and
is this the second time that they fought, or the third?
This will be the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there might even be a trilogy out of this shit, huh?
I mean, if the cards are played right, this for us, yes.
Yeah.
If Dustin wants that fight, I just feel like, this fight's going to be a dogfight either way. I truly believe it, but the same guy Dustin is fighting is not the same guy he fought, his third fight in the UFC.
Oh, hell no.
You know what I mean? It's just, he's learned so much and over these last, 5 years in the UFC.
Justin is such an exciting fighter to watch. Not that Dustin isn't,
Yeah.
but like, I will not miss one of his fights, dude. I'll call into work, whatever I got to do. I'll leave early.
Yeah. He's ridiculous.
Like, I'm not missing
He's a fan favorite. He's an entertainer, and that's what he loves to fight for. And
him and Mike Chandler, when they fought, dude, it was like watching cats fight, man.
Dude,
that was
so
insane.
crazy.
So I couldn't imagine like standing on the side of the octagon.
It was crazy. There was a part where, that was at Madison Square Garden. So
Even crazy.
I had to like literally stop and look at everything, and it was just something like it was so unique just to see and to be in that round building and just the screaming and loud, and it was just, and to see the chaos that goes on in that cage where those two both love it. It was just like I had to pinch myself like, damn, this is really what I'm doing right now. It's nuts, It's like I said, man, it's crazy. We were talking about this on my podcast with the guys on last week or Friday we had. We have developed this little team, and it's just been nothing but a crazy ride. And it's been like we don't take it for granted or nothing, but it's a thing where we just click as a team now, and everybody knows their role, and it's such a relief when Justin goes out there and just listens to us and does it now. Before, he was just be in the chaos moment, like the Oliveira fight. He just was in the moment, and he didn't. He's
chaotic,
yeah,
man.
And now he's a trained athlete that wants to perform and win now. Before, he just wanted to go out there and cause violence and get hit and hit back. And now wants to move his head, and I feel a lot better as a coach coaching him now, So it's good, man.
That's awesome.
He's not done yet. He's gonna be around for a while, I bet. I see it happening.
Yeah, I could see him. I mean, I'm really surprised that he hasn't had a title shot back after the way
the physio,
it all went down. Yeah.
And then Chandler, after this fight, he will.
I think he deserves it.
Yeah, if he beats Dustin, he will definitely get a title shot. And if he doesn't, he's still making a lot of fucking money. That's no doubt. I mean, he's making a killing in the sport, and it's all good for him. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he could probably retire after the next couple fights and be cool and just golf like he wants to. And I'm jealous. I'll be stuck begging him to be on my podcast. I'm always joking, right? Like, I always tell him, I'm the highest paid water boy in the sport, right? Well, Marcus comes to practice now every morning with me, my son that's 3 years old, and now he's more, I don't know, I would just say more in sync with Justin, like he's getting ready to fight, and I told him he's getting ready to fight for the belt, and I told him, it's the BMF. He was like, what's that? And I told him it's the Bad Mother Effer belt, right? He goes, I can't say that. I'm like, well, with me you can. okay. And he won't say it though. He still, because he thinks I want to turn him in with mom. But he doesn't today and yesterday. Today and then on Friday, he's taking my job.
Oh,
he's going to get the water and giving it to Justin. And I'm like, wait, you want dad to go unemployed or what? Yeah. I'm like, come on, dude. Yeah. I'm like, what? You want more of a percentage now or what?
So thanks to Jeremy, he went down and I don't even know where he got these, but he gifted me a stock tank as a cold plunge, right? Because we've been talking about it, right? And so I've been doing it daily since he gave it to me.
You've been doing the therapy, the cold therapy, the plunge, okay? And Jeremy, you've been doing it for a while?
I do showers.
Okay, you do the showers though.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a tank. He just hasn't set it up.
Okay.
So, but he hooked me up with this tank, right?
Yeah, I can't find a good spot. I'm afraid of that shit dropping through my
I got
back,
my
dude.
shit in my garage, man.
Yeah.
My garage is a half gym right now. Like I don't even park my truck in it. Like
Right.
there's just enough room to put the wife's car in, and
that's
it's
it.
time to work out.
You got it. Yeah, you have it.
You know?
Yeah.
So the ice bath is now part of it, and I let the kids get in the other day because they saw me doing it. And my son's playing football now, and
So he wants to.
Yeah, so he was like, "I want to get in." And I was like, "Okay." So they watched me get in, and I'm like,
Yeah,
it's no holds barred, man.
Dude,
I'm
it
saying
sucks.
fuck whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like my neighbors must think I'm abusing my kids in there, right? Because I'm yelling profanities and all kinds of stuff. And so my son went to go get in, and I was like, "Look, here's the deal. If you're man enough to do this, and you'll do it the same amount of time that I do, you can say whatever you want when you're in that tub."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I figured out he knows
all
the
everything.
curse words.
Oh yeah, he knows everything. He's like, you better not make sure mom's in here though. Well, that's funny. How long you go in it?
I've been going just 5 minutes.
Oh shit, that's good.
Yeah. So, I did 5 minutes today. That's a lie. I started 4 minutes.
Okay,
so,
that's still good.
You know that Queen song, Dragon Attack?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to that?
Yeah. So you try to let the whole
That's
song...
a 4-minute song. And it's a fucked up song. So, like, I don't really like it. So I was like, I'm trying to mix two things.
You're more of the man than me. I ain't gonna like. So I used to do that when I fought. Me and Dwayne Ludwig used to do it in trash cans. We'd fill it up, and our trainer would just jump in there and we'd do it. And I hated it then, right? So now it became the cool thing. Now everybody's doing it, right?
And I will not post on my Instagram about it either.
My deal is, I get it, right? Like if it's the reasons why people are doing it now is because it's better for everything. So we were in Arizona. This guy had one. The guys begged me to get in it, and I said, "Fine, I'll get in it." Dude, it was like 36 degrees, 38 degrees. As soon as my junk hit that fucking thing, I swear to God, I thought I was tasting my cock. It went that far up in my stomach, dude. I was like, it's never coming out. And I got out. Like, it was so cold. I was done, right?
That's real cold.
Yeah, it was so dumb. And I'm like, this is not beneficial, right? And I got out.
How could this be good for you, right?
They made fun of me, and I just like, okay, whatever. Fast forward this. So Justin, he got a plunge thing, nice.
One of the badass ones,
yeah, one
probably.
of the has the pump filter.
Yeah.
Trevor got one too, and whatever. And I was like, dude, I don't want one. He's like, you don't want it? I was like, dude, if I get anything, I want a sauna.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
too.
I want one of those barrel saunas out in my place. But well, I started been working out, started taking care of myself. I've literally on this little workout kick. I mean, I'll
you're
have
looking
beers
good, man.
But I've been trying to just live a better life, right? Like I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, God, dude, I got to change my ways, right? Like I want to have sex again with my shirt off or with the lights on, right? I want to have the lights on again, My wife's about to leave my ass. So I literally said, fuck, I'm going to go get some supplements, start working out. And I've been on this kick and I feel so much better.
It's amazing.
So
dude,
we were talking about this cold plunge deal. And I was like, you know what? My wrist hurt, my knees hurt, my shoulders hurt, and I know it's beneficial, right? So I got on Amazon. I bought one of those, $150 tub deals, inflatable ones they do have now, that cold plunge therapy deal. I was like, it's $150. If I get pissed off and rip it, it's okay, right?
Good,
so
yeah.
I'm doing it. I should be here tonight. So I'm going to start doing it. 5 minutes, 4 minutes? Nah. I'm going to work my way up to
2 or 3.
I'm going to start with the minute.
I'm going to send you a podcast. Do you listen to Andrew Huberman?
Uh-uh.
Oh, he's a fucking
Really?
Like, he's a neuroscientist, but an old like punk rock. He used to be a pro skater.
Okay.
Like, so he's got kind of this cool edge to him, but he's still like a science nerd, right? And I'm sorry, Andrew, if you're listening to this, but
He's a lot smarter than us.
I listened to a whole podcast that he did, an hour and a half long, of all the science behind like when you should do a cold bath, for how long, what are the benefits, what does it increase testosterone or lower it, you know, like all kinds of different stuff. And it's a deep dive on it, but you'll learn everything you need to know about it right there.
It's funny you say that, because I went and got my testosterone checked, everything, because I'm 42 years old.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm 43.
Yeah,
so.
and I was like, dude, why am I 1 o'clock? I just want to fucking crash. I'm eating clean. I'm doing that, dude. My tests were so low,
really,
and everything. And I'm like, dude, all right. So I go down. It's down in Littleton. It's called Revive Health.
Okay.
Derek Wolf is actually the one that told me to go down there and see these guys. They're just probably like your guy, your podcast guy, scientist, know what to describe, give you the amount. And I'm on 6 weeks, and I feel like a fucking 20-year-old.
That's great.
I love it. I mean, I'm loving life right now. I'm motivated.
I think that's super beneficial, man.
It's
I've
what I
been
wanna do
taking
in
some
life.
supplements too,
Yes,
because I ran into the same thing. I just went through like a drastic weight loss, and then have been
Which is
working
good.
out. It's really good, dude. I feel so good.
What'd you lose, 30 pounds?
No, I lost like 70 pounds.
Did he really?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
And it's crazy. So I've
I
been
was thinking
putting
like
back
30,
on
40
muscle.
pounds.
Every time I came in here, like I wouldn't see him.
But I
Dieting?
had to do something. You saw me. I mean, before, when I started this shit, I was a big boy, dude.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing, I haven't really changed much other than diet.
Yeah, which is huge.
Yeah. But I didn't think I was eating bad then. I really think it's preservatives and shit, dude.
Yeah,
100%.
a lot of it. Yeah,
because if I just
you
eat
start
wild,
looking at what you eat.
yeah. If you literally like, and even go and buying a steak at the grocery store, they wash it in fuck beet juice and all this other shit. So I just was like, hey, I got a freezer of wild game. Talk to some doctors.
Some leanest stuff.
Talk to some guys that work with some pro athletes, and they were like, well, what are your goals? They were like, more like, what are your fitness goals? So now one of my goals, being a bow hunter, I was like trying to pick a workout that I could do on the road. So I've been doing the body armor.
Yep.
And I'm still doing it assisted, you know, and without the weight vest. But fuck, man.
It's
like,
brutal.
It is brutal workout.
Well, you guys, you're talking about TRX. I live by that. I love the TRX, man.
Really?
I do. I have one hanging in my shop right now, and
I just got one with
it
this new
is
deal.
literally when I was training the Denver Nuggets, I got certified in TRX to do
Go
all
Nuggets,
those.
by the way.
I know, right? They're playing tonight, right?
Yeah. We might have to turn that shit on while we're finishing this up.
Literally, that TRX was new to me. I had no idea what the hell it was. And, man, I'm a fan of it. And to this day, just because, you know, it's your own body weight. And
You
a
can
guy
take
like
it
yourself,
anywhere,
dude,
right?
anywhere on the road. I took it on trips, hunting trips, camping trips, anywhere. Like now it's just consistently always with me.
It weighs like 2 pounds.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Right? It has all these different attachments. I thought it was really badass. I didn't know much about them until we got hooked up with this endorsement deal from them. Yeah.
Great deal,
And
because
they
they're a great company, honestly.
They're awesome.
From what I know of them, phenomenal company, phenomenal product. And like I said, I will always talk good about them because I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, you can get the whole workout done with it. And
they're hanging in like every gym that I walk into, right? Like that's a staple.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used them before, but I didn't use it to its potential, right? Because if you're in a gym and you got all the free weights you want, but I did in my garage. I put up a little anchor and did. What did I do? I was doing skull crushers with it.
Yeah.
Holy
Crazy,
shit,
right?
man! I was like,
just pump.
yeah.
I know.
Jacked.
That's honestly, I got dumbbells in my shop and everything, but that TRX is my go-to, just because it's like I can make it harder, easier. The exercise I do, I'm a fan of it, man. It's like to me, it's just like I'm not worrying about ripping my shoulders on heavier weight, you know. So I'm just like I'll do more reps.
Dude, my speed and agility and everything from just doing body weight and running sprints and like. You know, because I wanted to be in shape for bow hunting. Like, that was the biggest thing, you know? And I don't want to be out there dying, you know, trying to hike a mountain or something. So.
Well, you went to American Bowman before.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to you, by the way.
But I'm telling you, like, that's a tough course. If you're out of shape and you're going there, you're gonna get tired just shooting targets, right?
Yeah.
So you realize,
No, I think if you do both sides, and I was doing that in the morning last year.
Yep.
I think it's like 4 miles.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
a loop, bro.
It's probably 1,000 feet of elevation.
Yep, it's a loop. It's
and then I
good.
started doing it with my pack, and then some mornings it would just be me up there.
Yep.
And I'd run between the targets.
Yep.
You know,
It's awesome.
It's
Workout.
fucking great.
It's a great.
I love it up there. I'd love to go up there with you, man. And thank
we
you
gotta
for
go.
setting that up. You're
Yeah,
the one
it's
who
cool.
set me up there.
Yeah, it's the best place, I think. If you live up here, you got to go there.
And now I'm a full-on member. It's
yeah,
like
it's the best place ever. It really is. Like, I truly believe that. I know we're just jumping, we're just
we're
talking,
all over
but
the place.
like literally that I've been to every course here in Colorado. That place is still the best.
It was so good, it made me not go to TAC last year.
Yeah.
I was like, why would I even
Yeah.
deal
You
with
have
that?
that,
I
yeah.
got this whole place to myself.
Yeah,
99%.
you don't wait
of the
on
time.
nobody or nothing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we got to go up there.
So
and-
thank you, brother, for
Yeah,
getting
no
me in.
worries.
You
Well,
have
when
a bow shoot coming up there, right?
mhm, we do. Me and Snyder, we host an archer shoot. This is our 4th annual Best of the Best, and June 10th, 11th is coming up, and it's filling up fast already. We capped it at 40 shooters on Saturday, team shooters. So it's a trad and a compound on one team, and then on Sunday's an individual shoot.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and we capped that at 100 or 95, I think.
Is
90.
that portion?
It's at 77, I think, right now.
Really?
Last time I looked.
Damn, I got to check my calendar.
Yeah,
I'm going to check
it's
it when
cool.
I get off.
It's
I might
fun.
sign up for the
You know, here's
individual.
what I tell everybody's like, oh, I'm not that good of a shooter, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, it's anybody's match that day, because last year we did it in May, like last week.
Oh, and you guys got hammered
2
with
feet
snow.
of snow.
Huh?
So it was a whole new element for everybody. Great time still, but we moved it back to June because we didn't want to deal with that. And now, I'm telling you, man, like, we have some cool shooters that come in, good shooters, but
It's a star-studded event,
it's
right?
yeah, and here's the thing, like, we try to literally, anybody that registers should hopefully this year, like we did last year, get a prize. Like, and they're badass prizes we got. I mean, we had companies from, all the who's who in the outdoor industry. Like, we contact, and they just be like, yeah, we got you back again, and yeah, it's cool, man. We get companies like SIG giving out $3,000 rangefinders, binoculars. I mean, it's crazy. We got targets to give out, Yetis, freaking lawn chairs. I mean, we got it all. I mean, a big one came in this year was Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and they just literally send us their companies that they work with, all their stuff. And it
Really?
was, I mean, I'm talking a whole bunch of stuff, and so I'm very grateful for that, But
What a great foundation, by the way, too.
yeah.
Those guys are awesome.
it's unreal.
I've done some photography work for them
Yeah.
over the years, and got a couple publications with them.
Oh, that's
They're
cool.
just solid people.
Yeah,
dude.
they're all, and there's different, what are they, chapters or whatever, like states. The ones that I work with are in Wyoming. They're big fans of the podcast, so they're always listening to it, and they're just helping me out all the time. And JR is just the man. And I mean, but everywhere I've been, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation has just been
They've been around
awesome.
forever.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
like
To me, I
40
think they're
years or something.
to me, I think they're the OG of all the foundations. I mean, I know we need them all, but
right.
they are literally the OG of all the foundations.
Yeah, I got nothing but good to say about those guys. So circling back to the ice bass for a minute, because
Yeah.
we're diving all over the.
we can
I
go,
haven't
baby.
seen you in a while,
I know,
man. So
I
it's
know.
like this is why I love it, though. Like we don't miss a beat. There's nothing scripted here. That's for
No,
damn
promise
sure.
you that.
But yeah, so it's incredible, man. I've been hooked on these fucking Jocko drinks and shit lately. Like I'll crush 4 of those a day. Caffeine.
I hear about these things
all that sort of
all
stuff.
the time, and Jocko's the man for one. But you're a big fan. You've been with these guys for a while, huh?
Yeah, almost a year now, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, they've been really good to us. I'll send you home with some, or if you want one now, we got some. I think there's some cold ones in
Yeah,
there.
I definitely try them. I love drinks like that.
You need another beer, too?
Jamie,
Yeah.
hit me.
I think
Hit me, Jamie. Yeah.
get some of this up. Damn.
What is that? Oh, the John Julio.
Yeah.
Oh, you are cray. I've been on a tequila deal too.
Yeah. I haven't lately. I've switched off of whiskey and all that.
Dude, I'm telling you, I say that. Thank you. I say that until last Friday, Justin got me drunk off whiskey. But like literally for health, for like calories and everything, I've been on a tequila.
For me,
thing.
the hangover isn't as bad
it's
either,
clean,
man.
dude.
It's
Yeah.
like, and
And
if I just sip it, if I'm sitting here shooting it, it's another
especially
thing.
Especially it's a good tequila. You know what I mean? So that helps too.
Yeah, if you help yourself there's some ice in that Yeti cup,
my
and
goodness.
yeah.
Jeremy, what's he trying to do to me?
You know.
I've taught him well.
29 minutes in, we haven't even hit the 30 minute
Yeah,
mark.
we didn't
Damn.
start podcasting for our livers,
Who's
that's
counting,
for
right?
sure.
Oh, I promise you that. That's the toughest part of my body right now.
But yeah, back to the ice bath anyways. So what I was getting at, it wasn't another plug for one of our sponsors or a product, but these guys are badass. Jocko,
Yeah.
go try that shit out. But I've been hooked on those, right? So like, that's been my thing. And dude, I get in that ice bath, and when I get out of it, I feel like I drank like 6 or 8 of those.
Yeah. So
to the point, there's certain times of the day that you want to do it because you will not
feel that.
fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess obviously the inflammation. I mean, I guess it does for like anxiety, metabolism, and everything. That could be a big part of what you're doing too. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what I want too, because I mean, I'll keep it real, dude. I got probably 5-6 months ago, dude, I was the heaviest I've gotten.
Really?
And I was just being a turd, you know? All I was doing is sitting on the table and bullshitting.
It's hard, man, when you got kids, because you're always at somebody's birthday party or some sort of...
With me, it was everybody comes over to my house.
Yeah.
And they hang out, and they're like, oh, let's eat some wings. And I'll eat wings late at night and drinking. And, you know, it just became a bad lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast. But... you know, there's a time and a place to do it and how much to do it, right? And I was all in, dude. And I just, you know, at that point where I just was like, dude, this is not me. My kids want to go outside and play, and I'm fucking hungover on the couch and tired and don't want to do nothing. I'm like, that's not me, you know? So that's why I kind of just turned everything around. Don't get me wrong. I love having drinks and cocktails and still do what I do, but I monetize it. And I go hard during the week. Like, I'm strict on my food. I'm working out. You know, especially now with Justin in camp. It's easy for me now. I'm loving it now. But the cold plunge.
I'm a fan of it.
Trevor he's a huge fan of it. He, like, Justin doesn't really. He does it just because he has to do it, right? I'm doing it because guys like you, guys like Trevor, they just talk so highly about it, and you see everybody doing it, like Cam and everybody just, I mean, my whole Instagram now is flooded with everybody doing it, right?
I'm so sick of seeing about it, but I jumped right on the bandwagon.
I know, right? So I'm doing it, and I bought one, and I want my wife to do it too, because she's on this health kick too, and I heard it does a lot of things just for women too, you know. So I was like, what the worst thing ever? Even if you do it for 30 seconds, it's better than when you not do it.
Well, that's what Huberman was saying in that podcast, and I'll send you a link to it. But I think what was it called? Deliberate Cold Exposure or something like that was the name of the episode. But he talks about, he's like, it's not even really, like, you reap benefits, just the anxiety of getting in the bath. So when you got in that one there, you reap some sort of benefits from just the anxiety. He's like, it doesn't even really matter how cold it is. Like, as you build up tolerances, you actually kind of want to go into it slowly. So he's like, start with 50-degree water and work.
Shit, I ain't scared.
Work your way up into that shit.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, he's like, you're still reaping all the benefits that you would if you were jumping in.
Really?
Yeah.
I just do it because I hate it.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I hate in the morning. And it's not as cold as what you're going into, but it's still fucking cold.
I can't do the cold showers.
Yeah,
too much of a trickle.
I started
like,
doing
I
that.
need to
I started doing that at the end of my showers.
I
started doing it at the end of my showers just because I'm mentally trying to get going. I will say this. I'm not dragging ass after I get out of the shower.
Yeah.
Like, usually I'm like trying myself out.
Go, dude.
I'm ready to get dried off and go.
Yeah.
I really am. So that's part of the reason. Like, if I have it set up, I go outside, get in it. I'm ready to fucking conquer the day. That's what I'm hoping.
The best part about where we live too is like
Yeah.
you don't have to put ice in it hardly ever, dude.
Well, that's what
you
I'm
and I
saying.
both have deep freezers. I just make an ice block and fucking Tupperware
Throw it in there.
thing, chuck it in there, and then hop in.
Yeah, that's so the one that I ordered has like a little insulation deal thing, so
Oh,
it's supposed
nice.
to keep it a little colder too. I don't know. I don't need it to be
That steel
that
tank
cold.
on that concrete floor,
Oh,
that's a pretty
no.
good fucking job.
It does, right?
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
fucking,
Look at you already negotiating. You're like, I don't really need it to be that cold.
I don't
actually.
need it to be that cold.
I don't think that's how it works.
You know what I mean? But like the benefits from it, I'm all in. I'm like, especially now that I'm, I will honestly say, like, I feel motivated to work out, motivated to do things, and I know the perks of it. I see it. You're a perfect example of it too. Like bro,
I just started this
you
week,
almost
but
almost lost another human.
I really did, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
And you were a big guy to begin with anyway, so you held it well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm short for my weight.
Yeah, but I was never happy with it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like, it never affected me, like, I guess it definitely affected me athletically.
Oh, 100%.
For sure, dude. Like,
Yeah.
for me to run a mile
Yeah.
at that weight, you fucking
It's bad on your knees
crazy.
and everything. Yeah.
But now, like, I'll run a mile a day sometimes too, if I'm doing a full body armor
Yeah.
or something like that. But for me, it was just more of a mental thing. So I did straight carnivore for 100 days.
Oh, wow.
And it was more the mental fortitude because the kids still had all their shit around,
Yeah.
like potato chips.
So
and-
you did it on your own.
yeah,
You had
and
to-
I did. I actually did it mostly wild game, dude. I ate almost a deer and an elk
Yeah.
in that 100 days, dude. Like,
That's
it's
a lot of meat,
crazy,
dude.
man. Yeah.
Did you get the meat sweats?
No, not too bad. I mean, your body goes through some
Yeah.
drastic shit at the first like 30
Yeah.
days, and the doctors told me that too. That were working with me, they were just like, "You're gonna have." It's going to be miserable.
Yeah.
It's going to suck for the first
Yeah.
month, 45 days, and then you'll start to reap the benefits. And then really, like, you need to do this for 3 months
Yeah.
to really see results. And I did. Fuck, man. Like,
Really? So
yeah.
I got a lot of buddies that did the 75 hard,
Okay, yeah.
and they done that with the carnivore diet. And, dude, they were like, dude, it was the best thing they ever did. And some of them couldn't do the whole meat deal because they said it was just too much meat for them.
I mean, to the point where I wasn't using butter or any. Well, that's not true. I'd use ghee butter or beef tallow or something.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, man, an elk steak cooked in beef tallow,
bomb.
it's bomb, dude. On
Really?
a cast iron, takes like you might as well have fast food, man.
Really?
Yeah, like
It's that good.
sear it on each side to medium rare. Like takes probably
No,
3
no,
minutes.
Yeah. No time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to shoot an elk fucking this year, if
Yeah.
anything. I don't know. I'm hoping, man. If I don't get one this year, I'm putting the bow away and bringing out my gun. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I'm done bow hunting elk, unless I'm going on a private ranch, whatever, or guided ranch. I just, man, I miss elk.
It's so crazy now. There's
miss
so many
it.
hunters,
Oh, dude,
There's
I
so
can't do
many-
it, you know.
and that's not an excuse. I mean, but it's just hard, man.
It's so hard, dude. And that was part of the reason why I got my section, my lease, because I was tired of dealing with other hunters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to realize, like, me and my buddies, we bought those e-bikes, so we get back further on OTC, do this and that. They were doing it too,
Yeah,
so it was
and
like,
horses. I
yeah,
mean, there's
it's
people.
just- and it was just too much for me, and I just got tired of calling in other hunters, and like, to me, it was just like, man, if I'm going to spend time away from my family, make it hard on my mother-in-law and my wife with the kids, I got to be able to make this work for my week or I'm gone there, you know what I mean? And so it just
Shit,
worked
man,
out.
If you have the opportunity and the means to hunt private, because
Yeah.
I hunt some private
Yeah,
too.
it's the
you know,
best.
and
If
it
you can
is
do it,
absolutely the best.
Nothing's guaranteed.
No,
I've been hunting for 3
it's
years.
still fucking hard.
And I can't get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there you go. Like, it's not because I'm a shitty hunter. It's just the opportunity hasn't really planned out the game plan.
The success rate. Just go and look at that, you know,
Mhm.
and they'll tell you by game unit.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some
So-
units are private land only, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, pretty much where I'm at right now is all private land. It's just all locked up by private land.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So my little section that I got that they own, either they're there or they're not. So it's
that's
just,
the hard part with private.
That's the part that sucks. You
Yeah.
know, like I can't move to another location. You're just sitting there waiting. A lot of thinking in your head, you know. So,
Yeah, and the
which
one
is
time
cool.
that you're not there,
That's
there,
what
right?
happens. Yep, exactly. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yep. The month of September is crazy, but I love it. And that's part of the reason why I do it, though. Is like I love being out there. I love archery. I love elk, but God damn it, I love eating elk a lot more. Yeah. So I mean, I just.
I'm no trophy hunter either.
That's what I'm saying.
Basically the first thing that walks in front of me is getting an arrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I mean, either I would shoot a cow. You know, I would shoot a cow over a raghorn any day too. But like, you know, as a bow hunter, you want to shoot a good mature bull. And,
absolutely.
It's what we all drive to do, right?
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where if a goddamn cow comes in front of me, I'm smoking that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Like literally, I have no problem.
The only time I take that back, the only time I won't do it is if they have like a really young calf with them, or does with fawns.
Yeah, if it's a mama, but shoot, I'm gonna have to shoot that calf. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll it's better. But no, but no, it's just honestly like I always. And don't get me wrong, I have passed up a couple cows because I was trying to get the bull to come down, the satellite bull or whatever, and it didn't come down. Actually, and I'm on the way home. You're like, damn it, why did I just shoot that son of a bitch? You know, and it is what it is because
that's part of the
you
game.
live
I guess,
to
right?
hunt another day, right?
Yeah.
And that's the part I hate and love so much. But it'd be nice for me to go out and say like, oh man, I called this bull in and I decided not shoot it. No, that's not the case. Yeah, my first legal bull I get a chance to shoot.
You're being real. You're not bullshitting.
Yeah, I'm
me,
not bullshit.
I've heard that bullshit story so many times.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude, I'm shooting a 5x5. I don't give a shit, But if it's a raghorn, I'll shoot a cow over that for sure because that's the area I hunt. So why would I not want bigger bulls to come?
Absolutely, yeah. I do the same thing with deer on the private that we hunt. We don't take bucks unless they're super mature, or
old.
Something's like wrong,
or
with them,
a coal kind
deformity,
of a coal buck. Yep,
yeah.
Which a way it should be because I will say this up here where we're at in this area, or these different units, there's good mature bucks. It's just a matter of are they in the area or whatever. So for me, it's just I have no problem not punching the deer tag. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I would rather not, just because it's not that I don't like eating them. It's just I prefer elk over deer.
Oh, it's 10 times better, in my opinion.
I would rather go to Nebraska and hunt a whitetail, or go eastern Colorado and hunt a whitetail because I like that meat better than a mule deer.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. So it's
I haven't had much whitetail, but the whitetail I've had, a lot of them are living off of like farm
corn,
crops.
a lot of corn and alfalfa and stuff like that. But I think that has a lot to do with it because I've shot Nebraska mule deer. They eat the same thing and they taste.
It really depends on their diet, man.
Yeah.
Because we're so lucky where we hunt. The private that we hunt is all acorns.
Yeah.
So they primarily eat acorns, and they taste
protein,
amazing, man. They're really good, and there's no sage.
Yeah.
I've eaten some deer that have
I've hunted some high country.
some of those Wyoming.
It's just it's not the same.
No.
And it's like it'll put a bad taste in your mouth. And people say like, oh, it's how you prep it and this and that. And I'm like, well, I'm prepping it wrong because that shit is nasty. I'm no chef because that shit is nasty. And that's just me. I mean, that's why I say like I like to hunt so much and I like to put an animal down just like anybody else. But man, when it comes down to like if I'm gonna shoot a 3-year-old deer or a 5-year-old deer, I'm going to go for the 5-year-old deer. But if I don't have to, I won't.
Yeah.
Because it has to be a really cool deer. Something for me to really.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is like I'm not a trophy owner, but in the same sense, I kind of am because here's the deal, dude. I can go to Safeway and pick up some meat. I'm not starving for meat.
Right.
I'm starving for elk.
Yeah, it'd be a different story if you were living 200 years ago, right?
You know what I mean? Like I'll buy a cow,
and that's really the way to do it, man.
It really is. Yeah. And like as much as I, talk about hunting and I love hunting and this and that, but like
ribeye is pretty good.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, or I'd rather save my money, go down to Texas, shoot an axis deer, something different that I like. to eat. I've
You
shot
really like
organ-
access?
Oh, it's the best, bro.
The little bit that I've tried is amazing.
It's
but
amazing.
that's like a bucket list hunt
Yeah,
for me.
you should.
I want to go to Lanai and do it though.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
I really want to go
dope.
out to Hawaii and hunt.
That would be like a family deal. Like
Yeah.
that'd be it. Yeah. But honestly, like that's just kind of where I'm at. Like I know everybody wants to shoot a mule deer and this and that. Like it's not on my hit list. Like it has to be a cool buck or.
I'm with you, man.
It's
like,
just for me to shoot
I'm kind
that.
of the same way, but like I do it for the meat and the conservation side of it too. Like where you and I hunt, I think pretty sure it's the same unit, and I'm not going to drop it.
Yeah.
But it's the deer are so overpopulated here because there's nobody that hunts them. I mean, there's
Yeah, it's all
lions and
private.
bears and
Yeah.
stuff, but
It's just not.
they can't even control it.
Dude, I can look in my backyard and I give all these deer names because I'm like, dude, that's a monster. That one will be big in a couple years, you know?
Yeah.
And they are big, you know what I mean? And it's just, and my buddies that come over and they'll hang out and they'll be shooting bows and here comes the deer. Like, dude, that's the biggest deer. I'm like, yeah, there's bigger. You know what I mean? Like, there's bigger. Like,
Yeah.
and to me, it just doesn't, I don't know. I'm just, now if I'm in Nebraska and I'm whitetail hunting, like, dude, that shit turns me
The
on.
majestic part of elk hunting and the reason why I still go, whether I'm successful or not, and there's a lot of years I've been
Yeah.
unsuccessful,
Yeah.
but it's just the rut, the bugling, just being, out there. I still go on public land for
Yeah.
elk,
Yeah.
just because there's no
Brutal.
elk on the
Yeah.
private that I'm on,
Yeah.
or I could hunt elk there,
Yeah.
but matter of fact, a family member got a tag on that private that we hunted. We didn't see
Just
one
not
elk.
one
the
out.
whole
It's a hit and
time,
miss
yeah.
game, you know?
And we see, a little bit of sign here or there, but I love just being out like in the thick of it, like
Yeah.
the flat top somewhere or
Yeah.
something like that. And even if you run into other hunters, man, I ran into some cool ass people
Yeah.
last year, and I ran into some idiots too. But for the most
100%.
part, it was pretty cool, And
It's I guess it's all about being out there and meeting new people and being out there with your buddies. But at the same time, I got to the point where when I first got in, year 2, year 3, okay, those are the learning curves, right?
yeah,
And then you finally get into like, okay, I know how to call now, and I got my buddy here. He's a really good caller. He's killed a lot of elk. I'm done with the learning curve, and there was a point where I had a couple years back to back OTC that were awesome. We shot bulls and we got them, and I learned a lot about myself on the pack out, and like, holy shit, like it's when I learned about elk hunting. Then I was like, dude, I love this. But goddamn it, dude, that sucks.
yeah,
And now I'm disappointed in my life where,
it's hard with time too, especially if you
I'm
got
short
multiple
of time.
businesses.
I'm short with time, and I would rather, like the spot that I'm at, I can bring my kid
That's
and
so
do a
cool.
little bit of it, and part of that might be why I suck and I get one too, because the little fuckers are talking and
Yeah,
loud
but
and
I
screaming.
mean, really, that's the only reason why I'm hunting today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
But
to
I'd rather
kinda
I'd
be
rather
a
have
good
that
example,
moment.
right?
You know what I mean? Like we had that iPhone selfie with my kids doing it, and
That's so
and
rad.
to me that's priceless, And I don't know. I guess the more I'm become a dad and be older and seeing my kids grow up, I want them to be a part of this lifestyle because it meant so much for me when I got to do it with my uncles and my dad that, I was thinking, man, when was the last fondest memory I had as a kid? And I think it was like 11, maybe 10 years old that I have. But, I don't know if they'll remember it now. He's 3 and 7. I got a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. And, but I know
I'll tell you from
they'll
my-
have the pictures.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, because let's keep it real. Tomorrow's not promised for any of us, right? So at least, maybe I can't wait till they're 10 years old. I mean, I may be gone. So at least they may have that little thing, and they may not remember anything right now, but Dad was 100. Maybe I should try that.
Right.
I don't know.
no, and I
Not
think
saying
it's-
that I want to die anytime soon.
I
God damn
think
it.
it's great too for I don't want you to either, man, nor do I. Like
Right. I want to live a long life. That's why I started working out, doing everything.
Me
I'm
too.
willing to do the cold plunge, God damn it, As much as I don't want to do it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it
If
because
it keeps you around a little
Yes,
longer, right?
yeah.
You're bettering your chances at least.
yeah, I don't want my buddies to come over and start stabbing my wife.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. We got your wife.
Yeah. We'll take
But,
good care of her.
We got
Yeah.
your back, dog. Yeah, I know. I know whose back you got. Oh shit.
Oh shit, that's fucking funny, man. Yeah, no, I think
I'm sorry, dog. I get carried away.
No, it's all. I love it, man. That's why you're sitting here.
There you go. That's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
that's okay, great.
That's definitely our neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
it really is crazy, right? It looks like Santa Claus reindeer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. And that's why I'm saying, like, some guys will come over and they're like, oh my God, it's a huge deer. I'm like, wait, there's bigger.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm the asshole that's, we're lucky enough to have deer like this.
It's so
behind us,
awesome.
But
going back to childhood and stuff, like the way that I grew up, I mean, that's the reason why I hunt today.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
luckily I had, good men to teach me that, uncles. I didn't grow
Yeah.
up with a dad, but I grew up with my grandfather and uncles that
yeah,
were avid
Sportsmen.
bow hunters.
Yeah,
Like,
sportsmen.
they blue collar. They went to work and they hunted. And that was their life, man. That was
Yeah.
like pretty much it. And
which was a great life.
and it's fucking awesome,
Which is
man.
great
Like
life.
no worries, right? And but anyways, where I was going with that is like I remember those trips so vividly, them taking me out, the adversity that we faced, me crying on the side of the
Oh, yeah.
mountain in Montana, like
Yeah.
on this glaciated peak, like I can't hike anymore,
Yeah.
guys. And they're like, bullshit, get your,
Get
ass,
your
up.
ass
There's
up.
no
Yep.
other way to go,
I
you
know.
know? Like we're either gonna go over this or
Yeah.
we're not gonna make it, you know?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
so like those moments I will never ever forget, and I really think it forged me into, it's just like getting in the ice bath we were
Yeah.
talking about. Those uncomfortable moments, you're
Yep.
kind of testing yourself a little
Yeah.
bit.
And
And,
that-
then the first time you see like have to field dress an elk,
Oh, yeah.
holy shit, right? Like
Yeah, anything.
as a
anything
kid or a
tough.
grown man, there's
Yeah.
some life lessons in that.
Well, it's just like what you were just saying. You were on the side of the mountain. You had to keep going. Now, which reminds me, you guys need to come over and shoot your bow at my place.
yeah.
We're starting to set up the range right now. Marcus comes out. He's only 3 years old, and he gets tired of walking up and down. He loves shooting his bow, but I make him go get his own shit, right? And I'm tired, and I'm like, I don't care, dude. You got to get up and do it. And I'll shoot a far target, and I'm like, you come with me, carry me. And I'm like, no, either you come with not,
Yeah.
And so I make him, and and I hold his hand coming down. And he's all like, Dad, hold me. And I'm like, no, because we're hunting. You got to come off the mountain yourself. And what if we got meat behind us? We got deer on our packs. We got to go. He's like, okay. Little does he know what it means. I mean, if you really wanted me to hold him, I would hold him. But I literally am just trying to plant that seed of like hiking up, hiking back, getting up and do it. And it's tough. It's like, like it sucks.
You know who gave me some of the best advice on that? Because I was worried about that with my kids and like, am I pushing them too hard or am I not? And the Clums, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Tom Clum
Yeah,
and
Tom Clum,
Danny.
Danny, and all
those
those
guys
guys.
are fucking badasses,
Yeah,
right?
they're
Like,
badass Wisconsin wrestlers. and
incredible,
everything,
yeah. Incredible people. And have killed huge
Yeah.
bulls with
They're-
traditional bows. Like
Yeah, they're
they're
the stick bow guys, and
they're
they can
savages,
do it.
right?
Yeah, I think their wives. I mean,
It's a hunting family.
Yeah, they got animals down every year, right? Like they do.
But I had a moment with Tom where it was just me and him hanging out. No podcast, no mics on or anything. I was like, because my boy's now 10 years old, and I was kind of like, man, how did you raise your boys? Like how'd you make it fun and interesting? And like, because this is kind of the reason why I'm putting all this effort into what I'm doing now. Or I might not hunt because I could go to Safeway and buy whatever steak I want, at this point. And he was like, man, you just got to treat him like a bird dog. He's like, don't let them get cold. Make it fun. Always make them leave before they want to. And I was
That's
like,
good
God,
advice
it
right
makes
there.
so much sense. And he's
That
like,
does.
that's what I do with my boys. And that's like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I look up to Danny a lot too.
Yeah, that's some great advice.
yeah.
Yeah, that is. I
hit
didn't think
home.
about it.
And
like,
taking
really
it from
is.
Tom too.
Yeah.
It's like that
Been there,
dude's
done
salt
that.
of the
Yeah,
earth.
he's been there, done that. And his boys are badass boys and great head
Yeah.
on their shoulders, and like
Incredible people to be around.
I've asked them to come on the podcast, both of them, and it just hasn't worked out on the schedules for both of us. And just because he knows every guy that's wrestled, and like the first time I went over there to their shop, he knew who I was, knew my record, who I fought, where I was like, dude, who are you? Fucking psycho?
Danny or Tom?
Tom.
Yeah.
And he was all like, you still coaching Justin? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, man, ask him about this match. Blah, blah, blah. In college, right?
Right.
And I'm like, dude, who are you? He goes, I only follow the greats. And I'm like, where the hell are you following me then? Right? That's not true. Call bullshit.
Well,
right?
he never followed me.
And so like he had all this info on like Justin when he
That's so cool.
like did Burroughs. He wrestled Burroughs. Like he's just a super wrestling. They're like a wrestling family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, holy cow, Tom! I had no idea you were this. You know, he's like, oh yeah. He goes, don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong. I used to wrestle.
I don't think I'd want to scrap with
I
Tom.
wouldn't either. I would want to lock up.
Back
You know what I
pocket for
mean?
sure,
Like
yeah.
he has those hands. Well, let alone his kids. You know.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and he's just good people, man. Right? Just good
I love
people.
that dude.
Yeah.
And
He's
I've
just-
known him for
He'd
a
be
long
awesome on the podcast too.
Yeah, we've had him on, and we were trying to get him back on. Same sort of thing.
Yeah, just can't get him.
scheduling,
Just
man.
my
It's
schedule.
so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Because I told him, I said, I'm going to get you drunk, bro. And he's all like, oh, I better have Daddy drive me up there then. Right? And, you know, so we just
I'd
have
love to
fun.
see Tom drunk.
Yeah,
but
I just want to have a glass of whiskey with him and
Yeah.
shoot the shit because he's such a good dude.
and talk about a legend in the archery
Right.
community that doesn't get as much shine as he
I
should,
know.
just because he's salt of the earth.
Yeah,
right?
he just
Like,
he
I don't
doesn't
know
want
that
it.
he
He's
really
so
wants
humbled.
it. Yeah.
He's so humbled, and he could probably do a lot on the IG and do this and
Yeah.
that. But you know, I think he's happy on where his business is,
Incredible, yeah.
and what he's leaving his kids. I think he's content with it. I mean, I like.
That's one of the best goddamn bow shops.
Oh yeah,
in
if
the
you're
world,
in a stick, if you're in
a
the area,
traditional hunter,
yeah, if you're a stick bow guy, if you ain't going to see Tom Clum and
Yeah.
the family, then I don't know. What the
and that's
hell
not downplaying any of the other
And,
ones
yeah,
that are
it's
in
just-
Colorado.
I'm
We are
just saying-
surrounded by great.
I'm just saying, if you want some greatness and some, some tips, hands down. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a stick bow guy, but goddamn, I've been around a lot of people that are, and they all say he is by far the best.
yeah. I
And
mean, he's even helped me on the compound side,
I
like
believe
with
it.
some coaching. Because you go in there and shoot your bow, you're gonna get some coaching whether
Mm-hmm.
you want it or not.
yeah, yeah. No, that's just how they
Yeah.
are, though. That's just it. They're trying to make you a better archer, and I mean, you can't really be mad about that.
They've made me hands down. Like he taught me basically the what do they call it, close the loop method. So I'm shooting off a back tension where
Yep.
I used to just punch
Good for
a
you.
trigger, and
Yeah,
that's
good for
total-
you.
it's
That's
a
hard. That's a
game
way
changer.
different.
I had to
yeah.
relearn fucking
Yeah,
everything, but
yeah.
yeah.
It's I started with that. I shouldn't say I started with it. I went to it because everybody said it would help me out. Went to a hinge. I almost knocked myself out a couple
Oh,
times
really?
doing it. Oh yeah, and I was like, dude, screw this.
See, I still have
T-Ra-
a thumb release.
Yeah, see, I want to do a thumb one, I think, and I think that one I could do. But I just, I still do the old wrist rocket deal. I got one of those hooks, B3. To me, I keep things real in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Those hand ones that I pull back, right? Like those thumb and whatever.
Like the tension hinge,
yeah,
right?
the tension hinge.
Because I don't really understand how those work. Because I will not go to it.
Yeah,
Like,
don't do it.
I always want the option to punch a trigger if I
yeah.
had to. Right?
Yeah,
and I
because
don't
of an
anymore.
animal in front of you. If I have a screaming bull in front of me,
Well, think
and I
about a
can't draw
predator
back.
charging you.
yeah, if I can't draw back and I gotta wait for this thing to fucking
Yeah.
fire, no, dude, I can't do it. I want to be able to have control of it.
Right. And I
don't
think
know.
it's just the opposite too. And another reason why I didn't go to it is, well, it was suggested that I shouldn't go to it until I learned with like a trigger. Because I'm so used for years, right? For probably, I've been shooting archery since I was like, I don't even know, 8
kid?
years old
Yeah.
or something. I shot traditional for a little bit, and then I got my first compound at like 10 maybe.
Okay, so you've been doing it for a long.
I used to shoot a compound with fingers,
Yep.
and then I took a long ass break, right, and then
Yeah.
got back into it maybe 8-9 years ago now.
Yeah.
And but anyways, like having a trigger was just like something that's ingrained in
Yeah.
me now, right? And I think, don't you, with those hinge ones, there's a safety button or something
Dude,
that
there's
you
no
have
fucking
to.
safety on those bitches. They ain't
Oh, I
fucking-
thought you had to keep it.
you got to
depressed.
churn them, and I mean the ones that I had, I would pull it back, and it would go off, and I would smoke myself, give myself bloody noses. I mean, I chucked my bow one time. This one time, me and Snyder were at the American Bowman, and we had a hole one. And he was proud of me because I'm trying to, shoot a hinge. Dude, it went back, and I kind of like tried to pull back, and it came down. I derailed my bow. I mean, I just had a nightmare with him.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just a bitch on him, but I can't do it. I don't want to do it, right? Like, I don't know. A thumb release. I mean, I looked at some of John Dudley's stuff, like his thumb, and I don't know. I just feel like if I have a bull in front of me, like I did last year, and I had a wrist rocket, it was hard enough for me to draw back. I mean, I said this the other day. I drew back, and it looked like I was throwing a cock in my face. I was shaking so bad, like I was stupid.
That was a great video.
Literally, I drew back, and it looked like I was just smacking myself in the face, right? And I had my boy Nestor with me, and I let down. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "Bro, I can't shoot." He's like, "Shoot, draw back and shoot this bull." So I drew back, and I finally was there. But then I was all over, and then the bull moved, and I was just like, dude, it was on me, right? So I put myself in the situation where, like, if I had one of those buttons, I may have hit it, and would have the animal missed it? I don't know. I just feel like I'm a little safer still with the wrist rocket, and
you can still do that technique.
Yeah,
it's just about learning it that way.
And
right?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm being my stubborn ways. You can't teach a new dog new tricks, old dog new tricks. I don't know. I just feel like it, but I don't know. I don't say I'm that bad shooter the way I am right now. So
hey,
you know what I mean?
Working for you,
if it's
like,
working,
don't change it, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing too. You can walk into any archery shop and somebody will tell you what you're doing.
Oh
wrong.
yeah, exactly. And then I tell
There's
them,
a billion experts.
Hey, do you know shut the fuck up? That's what I tell them. Unless I really ask
lessons
for
from
them,
Luke.
right?
I fucking love it. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, did I come in here and pay you for a private lesson?
Yeah.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
But
yeah.
going back to like just eating meat too. One thing I was gonna say is, so these people that I was working with, incredible. Sean Baker, shout out, totally helped me out, and then Dr. Castro, fucking amazing dudes.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were saying, basically it wasn't. I was on the carnivore diet for 90 days or something, but
which is a lot.
It was basically like a reset button, right? They were like, we need to get all the shit out of your body and then get you back to a baseline. Then we'll figure out what you're deficient in. And then, like, if we're going to do like the SpectraCell blood work where it tells you what you're vitamin deficient in, we got to have some sort of baseline, and it takes this long to get that back to that baseline.
Holy shit.
So, and it worked, but they were like, pay attention. Like, you can eat eggs, you can eat fish, but like try to eat eggs for like 3 days, and just your body will tell you how you're feeling, And wild game made me feel the best out of anything that I was eating. Yeah. Like over steak, like a ribeye was second to that.
Really?
But like elk and deer, tenfold.
You just felt better.
Just felt like I was ready to conquer the world, man. It was crazy.
I had some buffalo last night in a chili, and I will say this, like, I just love
bison
that shit
so good,
so
man.
much. I mean, if it wasn't so expensive, I'd go out and shoot one on a goddamn thing and have meat for
I know.
days.
I've been looking too.
Dude, they're so expensive, and I mean, you're pretty much just shooting a fenced animal, but I'm looking at it as the grocery part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I really am.
That's kind of how I look at all hunting.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, you got to look at it like that. You know what I mean? I will say this, like, the more I get older and the more my kids are getting bigger and they eat me out of the house, I'm more to like, hey, I could shoot a bison. I tell my in-laws or my brother, I'd be like, hey, man, y'all want some bison, man?
Yeah, let's go 50-50
Yeah,
on
spot
that.
me a couple $1,000, I'll get you some bison. I'm cool with it. It's just that they're expensive animals, and which they should be, because, I mean, I know they eat a lot, from like these farms now and stuff, because I pretty much it's very seldom you're ever going to get a tag. I mean, I think there's a few tags out there, but it's not likely you're going to shoot a wild buffalo.
I put in for some up in Wyoming.
Wyoming, right?
Even if you draw
like Yellowstone
that,
area, and it's
the
very,
elk reserve outside of Tetons.
Yep,
back in there,
which is gorgeous there.
It's fucking amazing.
And it's just like, is it realistic if I'm going to draw that? I mean, I can't even draw a goddamn.
Well, here's the deal too. Like I say for the grocery value, but it's really more for the nutritional value. Because I think it's packed full of so much more nutrients. Because if you actually look at what everybody thinks like, oh, it'd be great to get 300 pounds of meat for free. That shit ain't free. By the time you get a bow, take the time off of work, depending on what kind of gear you got.
It's not free, dude. It's not free. Yeah. And
gas to get there. If you're going to take it to a processor, there's a whole nother.
And like let's say a buffalo. I mean, if you're going to butcher that yourself, good Lord, you better have like a goddamn army in your shop to help you process that, because it's going to be a minute. Me personally, like,
you better have electric grinders in the whole
yeah, and it's still going to be wear and tear on that bitch, and you are going to use the shit out of that. Me, I have no problem saying if I'm going to spend $6,000, obviously $9,000.
Jeremy's got it pulled up here.
Great job, Jeremy. Make me feel like I'm never gonna shoot one now. Like honestly, because the ones that I've talked to is like around $6,000.
A couple that I've talked to, but that's not like a herd bull.
No,
that's like
it's not it's just an average bull,
Right.
And
that
I'm
does
okay.
include like the process. They'll process.
No, they
it
won't.
For you
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Because a couple that I talked to said the price was included.
Oh, really?
With, like,
See, that's not a bad
processing
gig
and
then, right? Me personally, like, I would want to do it in like, I would want the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd want that over a fireplace or something like that, because, they're
such a badass.
They're
animal.
such a fucking unique animal in the first place, and until you have gotten up close to one and see them. Like, I've been on I was with a bunch of veterans in San Antonio, and they took a bunch of veterans out, and they did a fundraiser, and they won a hunt, and the landowner, they were shooting like does and axis, I think. Mm-hmm. And these guys had so much fun. We had fun. We were videoing it, and it was me and Justin together, and they had so much fun doing, shooting these things. And the guy goes, "Hey, man, I got a buffalo that needs to get off this ranch, and how would you guys like to shoot a buffalo?" And the guy goes, "Oh, I can't do that, sir. It's too expensive." He's all like, "I'm not going to charge you guys. I just want you guys, if you promise to share it with all of you guys here, that's yours. Just a donation."
Damn, that's
to us.
pretty badass.
Dude. He was like, "Yeah, what do we shoot it with?" He goes, "I got a gun for you." It was like a 357 mag, big old gun. And they went up pretty close to it, right? And that goddamn buffalo can take everything. Those animals are so goddamn tough. And I just, when I saw that size of a bullet, and I think they ended up shooting it like 3 times real fast, so it was trying to get it expired, but they're so fucking tough. And I was going back to, you got these broadheads here. Back in the day when the Indians would shoot these things, dude, I could not imagine.
So the guy that made me those is Donnie Dust. We've had him on the podcast a couple times. Savage, dude. You should have him on yours.
Really?
He's a gnarly Marine veteran that worked for a 3-letter government agency at one point. And after he got out of the Marine Corps, he was a rock climber. Had all this badass, the Patagonia, whatever, Petzl, harnesses and all this shit. And he just decided, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to go back to,
what he knows,
the primitive way of, foraging and harvesting from the land, right? That's where he wanted to go. He's like, that's what he needed to do to reset. But anyways, he's been on Alone and,
he does some real shit.
He just lives in Boulder, too.
Oh, really?
Super rad guy, yeah. But he made us all these stone points. every time he comes in, he's got I got goat hides and all kinds of crazy shit down here that he's.
All right,
giving
he's
me.
coming on my shit.
Yeah, he's
He
salt
sounds
of the
cool.
earth too.
Yeah,
dude.
he
He's
sounds
a
cool as
fucking
hell.
great guy.
Yeah.
But CU Boulder's been hiring him because he's so good at making these and using like. Do you know what an atlatl is?
Is that one of those things you swing and they throw it out?
Yeah, so it's like a stick. So
Yep,
it's like
I do
those
know.
sticks that you use to throw a ball for your dog.
Yep.
It's same concept, except they put a spear on it, right? And then they put a stone point on it.
Yep, I do know.
And
Yeah.
you chuck it. So they hired him. CU Boulder hired him to atlatl a bison, and then process it all with stone tools.
Oh,
so
shit.
he had to like make all the tools in front of them so they could see like the whole process, then atlatl it himself, and then field dress it himself with stone tools. And he did it in like 8 or 9 hours. I
That's
think.
fast.
He did the whole bison with stone tools.
Damn.
I'm like, fuck. Makes me feel like I got my compound with
dude.
perfect.
Exactly.
Like
I got my
100
Havalons and shit,
fucking
like, sharp ass knives. Oh man,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy if you just go back to like, time.
Yeah.
Of how much everything's changed. And like, when I saw, that big ass gun, 357 mag, and put that animal down, and I'm starting to think like, dude, how did these Indians do it with, these stick bows?
Yeah. It's incredible.
Let alone on a horse.
He talks about that too because he hunts in the state of Colorado, but his bows have to meet regulations. Like he still is like,
poundage and everything.
he's still buying a tag and the whole nine. Is this some Adani here?
Yeah, this is when they're chucking some of the other like after the bull's down.
Okay.
They kept on hitting them.
Yeah,
they
to
could
ma-
try different
points.
different points, different techniques, I guess.
Yeah, that'd
That's
probably
crazy.
that'd piss off a lot of the
Oh yeah.
animal lovers. But I mean, it's just literally proven
Already get it.
example.
They're figuring
Yeah.
shit out.
Yeah.
But he said they used every part of the bison. Like this
Oh,
experiment went on
100%.
for months.
Just like
and
how
just
they,
doing- yeah.
which you should, right?
And they, I guess you can go see this actual bison is on display somewhere in.
Here he is. He's using the stone tools.
That's
The
nuts.
first one. This is this. So he's done this multiple times, but the first time he did it, they just did it on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
that's big time.
Yeah.
That's hard. Yeah, they
And he
usually
was like-
come in with the tractor now and raise it and
Right.
try to
Makes
do
it
it.
so much easier
Oh, yeah.
to skin it and
oh,
stuff.
dude, could you imagine doing that on one side and then rolling that bitch? You can't roll
Yeah.
it, dude. When we were up there with the veteran, they didn't shooting it.
But he's doing that with a stone tool right now.
Yeah, sharp as hell too.
Oh, I mean, look at that
Dude, look
black
at that
one
one
right
he,
there.
Look at
It's-
that one he has right there, sitting in front of you.
Yeah, it's nuts, right?
Homeboy's got a regular knife though.
Yeah.
He's getting it on.
Yeah, I don't think that this.
Oh
was the
yeah, I
actual
do remember that guy
experiment.
on your podcast.
He's
yeah,
a
I
great,
do remember.
great
I do
dude.
remember
Yeah.
that now.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
But he knows a bunch of the science behind it, right? Because he's been hanging out with
Yeah.
all these scientists, and he said that they were so effective with these stone tools compared to what we have today. Because like something like this they'd chuck this into a bison, right? And even if it didn't penetrate all the way, which you'd never get it passed through with this, right?
Right.
Like especially through a bison. But they would start running, and as they
Yeah.
started running,
Like a
this
fixed
thing
blade.
would just sit there and just start opening,
like a
and
fixed
the
blade now,
serration
yeah.
and all that. Yeah,
Yep, I believe that for sure. Yeah, I
Pretty
don't know.
crazy.
It's crazy on like how they did it back then, and I feel like an idiot because I can't kill one with new technology. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
you got all the
I got
high-tech shit.
I got all the
got
high tech.
range
I got
finders
range
and
finder,
the-
garments. Fucking, I'm going off the moon.
Yeah.
I got weather apps. I got it all. And shit.
None of that shit matters.
No,
man. It
hell
really
no.
doesn't when it comes down to
No,
it. You
it
know, it's
don't.
like comfort level
It
type.
really doesn't. And it's
stuff.
just, like I said, man, I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
I always feel like a piece of shit. Like I love Donnie so much, and we've become friends, you know, through the podcast. But I always feel like a piece of shit when he walks out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, I should be doing shit better.
Yeah,
you know,
like primal
He's
shit,
one of
right?
those people.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's just,
or you talk to some of these UFC coaches, you know,
Yeah.
like Mark Montoya
Perfect
or something
example.
like that. It's just like that
Yeah.
guy is just 100% of invested, you know, in life
you know,
and doing it right.
It's so crazy you brought him up because I was just thinking of him the other day. If anybody had to get what he got and what he has to, you know, he has that mentality of a warrior, of a fighter to beat anything. And there's only like, it's funny you say this because I feel like I surround myself with a bunch of the guys like Mark Montoya, but there, when it comes to push comes to shove, there's only a few of them like him. And I feel like if anybody had to get what he got, it was him, and he could beat it, and he can do what he did in like the way he took on. Because I'm gonna keep it real, man. Like I do not want that shit. I just
What an inspiration to other people that might get cancer. Though,
you know what I mean?
Like
how he just took it on. I mean, you want to talk about taking a bull on by the horns? He did it, and he fucking said, "I'm gonna fucking beat you, and I'm gonna do this." And look at him. I mean, he was back in UFC, cornering, coaching, and like me, I'm just like, dude, I'm one of these soft little bitches because I'd be like feeling sorry for myself. How many days do I got left? Like, and he didn't think about that at all. And dude, Mark's is just a G to me.
He's a savage, man. I love that guy too.
He's just a G, and I think I seen him at Chick-fil-A down in Littleton one time, and we were talking, and this is everything. I was like, man, I'm so happy. You are overcoming it. He goes, there's still battles and, got checkups and this and that. But I said, yeah, but he had his boy right there. He goes, yeah, I know. I got a lot to live for. I was like, yes, you do. He goes, he tries to beat me in golf all the time. He ain't beating me in golf. And he's just that way. You know what I mean? Like,
right. He's competitive.
He's just so competitive, and he has a passion for life. You know what I mean? And he has so much to do still. And that's why I think he's not ready to clock out yet, and there ain't nothing going to hold him back.
And the world needs guys like Mark Montoya, especially right now. And you're one of those guys too. Like, I am so fortunate with this podcast. Like,
me too.
I'm a nobody, right? Like, I've done some cool shit. Like, I've got be in some cool spots, but like, not the career with some of these people that I have come in here, or scientists, or fucking
anybody,
biologists, or like. But really, I value anybody that sits across from me now just as much as I would one of those people. Because in the end, we're all people, whether we've done certain things with our lives, or maybe we've had a tougher road, or maybe we haven't, or whatever it is, right? Like, dude, I am so fortunate. I don't know if you get the same sort of thing out of your podcast, but like that's one reason why I'm still doing it today, because it's not.
So funny you say that, because you get some people that have huge followings. And you think about the business part of it, like, oh man, this will help my podcast grow. He shares this, blah blah, because we're in it for the business, right? We try to make our business grow and do this, or he'll be interested in his deal. Dude, I have found out that some of the guests that I have put on that doesn't have the huge reach, like as like let's say Justin, the 1.8 million followers or whatever. I have found out that more people can go with a guy that has 1,000 followers that don't know him, that had no idea what he did or whatever, and I introduced him on the podcast, and they're like, dude, he was an awesome guest. And I think back at all the times I got put on a podcast before I became, Mr. GU podcast and a host. Somebody gave me the chance too. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knew who I was. If Cafarocast didn't give me that, I would have not. I don't think I'd be doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, and so it takes chances. You gotta like somebody, and you gotta feel somebody and have a conversation with somebody. But like, there's people that you don't hear about that are they're badass people out there.
100%.
And there's badass people that just don't have the social media game, and they don't want to do that, which I totally take my hat off.
And shout out to Mark, man, because Mark is one of those people that actually believed in me.
Yeah.
And not so much like what I was doing. He was just like, I asked him if he wanted to come on. We had met at a bow shop prior to that. And then, this was, I don't know, a year before I started the podcast. And then I reached out and was like, man, I'd really like to have you on as a guest. And he was our 4th episode. And then, it just snowballed from there because Cam shared it from there. Yeah. So, like, I'm so grateful for those two dudes, like, right out of the gate,
Yeah.
It just, but I'm grateful for everybody that's been on, man. And, like,
they all help.
I've gotten to the point, too, where it's like, so I've had some big guests come in, right? And sometimes they don't share any of it on their page. You know what I mean?
Assholes.
I'm like, damn. You know,
Damn
and
assholes,
the first
come on.
couple times it happened to me, I was kind of like, what the fuck, man? Like, you invested this time. We had a great conversation. Did I offend them or like whatever? And I just figured out that like people are people and I don't fucking care. Like, it's more about this moment that we're spending right now. Like, if you don't share it on your page, it's about this for me. And like, once I realized that aspect of it and like, because Jeremy knows my struggles. Like, he's my right hand, you know? So I'll fucking vent to him all the time. I'll be like, if somebody cancels or something happens, it's like, God, dude, I'm so frustrated with just trying to keep this thing going or whatever. And then I've kind of gotten over most of that, right, Jeremy? Like, now it's just kind of more about the moment, just fucking hanging out for a couple hours with somebody.
You tend to figure out, like, okay, this is going to go either way I want it to go or not, right? Like, and that's just it. Like, me, does it help if those guys share it? Well, yeah. More eyeballs on everything, right? Like, that's kind of like the whole, hey, I putting you on promoting your product or promoting you. Throw me a bone here, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not their job. It's not they're not obligated to do it. Yeah. Could they? Yeah, absolutely. But they're not forced to. So I guess that's our job to promote it and, and there was a couple times where, I would hit people up like, hey, man, I appreciate if you showed a picture or something like that. No response, right?
Really?
Yeah, and then so next time I see him, I gotta take him out. You know what I'm saying? No,
you're off the list.
Yeah, but it's all good. Like I'm to the point where I'm like, cool, And I felt like I saw a highlight reel of yours, and you were talking about how you had like repeating guests like myself on, and
I'm trying to keep it to that. It's so hard now because I've had so many.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck.
But I honestly will say this: I have repeat guests on all the time. And my listeners fucking love that. They love when I bring certain guests on because they're like, yes, they know what they're getting, right?
Right.
And those are the guests you want because, one, they're sharing it. Two, they're happy to be on it. And three, they're promoting themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's...
And I also feel like in Donnie... We had Donnie Vincent on recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was super rad, man.
Yeah,
he flew all the way down.
Isn't he from Fort Collins, though?
I don't know that he's from Fort Collins.
Maybe at the time he was there, living there or something like that.
Yeah, no,
I could be
came
wrong.
down from Minnesota. I know he hunts down here or
Yeah.
something, and we just happened to catch him on a trip, and he brought his son with him. It was super cool, and we hung out. I mean, he drove halfway across the goddamn state to hang out with me, and like, I love the way that he portrays hunting too. Like his
storytelling is phenomenal.
Incredible person. But he was talking about, he was like, I really think that podcasts should be illegal unless they're in person. And then also he's like, the thing that I really like is doing the second or third one. And it made me realize, like, the first episode, you're just kind of figuring each other out, right?
Yeah.
It's like, where's your background? It's more like an interview.
Yep.
But then, like, for this one, I didn't even think about what we were going to talk about. We just came in and hit record and look at where we're at now.
Give me a beer and let's go. But that's honestly the truth, though, with all the guests, like repeat guests, and like, or a buddy that you've known for a long time, right?
It's like having a friend, right?
Yep.
And just hanging out with a friend.
And you're just talking about certain things, and where me and you have just hopped on topic after topic. It is something refreshing about a podcast, though, because I will say this. Not too many times have I had it, but there's been a couple times where I've had guests where I'm like, what the hell am I going to talk about next? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a stalemate. Like, okay.
Pro athletes are really bad at it. Honestly.
Yeah, because they're short. They're short,
I don't
right?
want to offend anybody, but it's like a yes or no answer doesn't work on a podcast.
Yeah,
right?
like, come on, get a little depth in it. I know you can beat my ass, but goddamn it, right? Yeah, I've had a few of them. I'm like, come on, elaborate about that.
Yeah.
What's that? What do you mean by that? And they're just short too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I think Rogan's really good at handling that. I watched him go through one. I can't remember who it was. It was some musician that he had on a couple months ago. And I just happened to, like, I catch maybe every 20th of his podcast now just because I don't
it just
have
depends
time,
on the
right?
guest for me.
Yeah. I love listening to him, man. He's a G, dude. He's the GOAT, for sure.
I just like some of the guests that he gets on there, and it tricks me to listen more, right?
Yeah.
And some of the guests that I would never thought about until I watched like an IG highlight film. I'm like, what? And then I'm intrigued to listen to it, right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, it's just like I feel like if you're a podcaster and if you haven't watched Joe Rogan, you're missing out because I feel like you can learn a lot from him. You know, he kind of gave me the green light on me, like be me, like have drinks, have
Do what you want,
cigars in there, have marijuana in there. If you guys want to do it, unless you were tied down to a certain company that doesn't want you to do that. And I said, well, if the company doesn't want to have that on my podcast, I don't need to work with that podcast or that company.
Yeah.
And I have had to deal with that. You know, I'm like, sorry, man. I'm like the cussing. They're like, hey, can you come back on the? I'm like, man, that's asking a lot from me, man.
You know who the fuck I am?
Yeah, I mean, it's my language, right? And I hate it. You know, I really do. I hate being
When you
like
go
a
back and listen to yourself,
Yeah,
like
and
I get a little cringe because I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, man, I come from a rock and roll background and roadies, and
Yeah.
that's I feel like I'm cleaning it up on here.
Yeah, no, and that's just it. And it's like certain nights, like if I'm drinking the bourbon or the whiskey, you know, and then you know the fuck word comes out a lot of me, and then or a certain guest that we and him just go back and forth, but that is what some of my listeners love to hear, right? And when I go to edit it, I'm like, dude, I gotta chill the fuck out, right? Like damn it, I'm becoming a fucking drunk, right? Like, and you know, to me, it's just like it's not good because I don't want to persuade like that's who I am, but at the same time, it is. I like to have a good time. I'm responsible. I'm not driving around.
I'm not hanging out with you at church, dog.
Yeah, we're not going to. You won't catch me at church, you know, unless there's some fine mamacitas there. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's what I hear. But that's what I'm saying is like I'm not changing who I am, and you know, like I always told my wife, I was like, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, is there a time and a place for jokes and being serious? Yeah. And I feel like, you know, the way you have built your podcast, the way I built my podcast, we had to take chances on who you know, be who we are.
They haven't all been good.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, of course. You know, that's
and
what
some
I'm saying.
of that's on me being a bad host too. Like
It's
if
a
you go back and
trial
listen to
and error.
someone, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so horrible.
Yeah,
man.
and
like,
you learn the more you get. It's just like shoot archery, right? Like the more you pick your bow up, the better
more
you're gonna
reps.
shoot. Yeah, and that's the one thing I will say is like, the more we do this, the more we get cool guests, the more times we get unknown guests, you're just gonna adapt to it, and it gets better, right? And it's just like us being on it for the third, fourth time. We have there's no breaking point. There's no like, oh man, what are we gonna talk about next? No, hell
am I
no.
gonna offend this guy?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you're kind of not. There's none of that trying to feel it out
Yeah,
anymore.
no, and no more. And I think the more you get, like, what are you guys on, the 120, 30?
So I think this one will be 128 or 127.
So you guys are up there now. The people know because when you ask people of, hey, would you get on my podcast? Yeah, they're going to check you out and they're going to see. So they kind of feel like, okay, I can do this, right? My reputation is they're going to come on, they're going to have some drinks and probably swear, right? And I've had guys turn me down too, which is no big deal. I'm like,
Right.
cool, man. They're like, man, my job really wouldn't like me. I was like, okay, pussy. And okay,
Right.
I respect that, right?
Too bad on your good time.
Yeah. You're missing out, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's I know there's other people to get on.
Sure.
But I'm just saying, the more you do them, the more you get established, the more you've done, people are going to be like, yes, I can do that. You know what
And
I mean?
I'm so shocked with like within our little community. Like, what you live,
20
15
minutes,
miles
15
from
minutes,
us?
20 minutes.
15 miles, something
Yeah.
like that.
An
from
hour
me?
today.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
today,
shit.
today we're fucked. Give me another beer, Jeremy. Fuck.
But I'm just shocked at how much like we have like this little community of podcasters around here that are
yeah.
all badass. And,
Oh,
like,
it's nuts.
dude, I want to thank you. Cheers, man, for you've helped me a ton. You
Oh,
know,
it works
like
both
with certain
ways.
things with guests, like
It works
just
both
certain
ways,
things,
man.
you know?
And that's why I say, man, like, you know, here's the thing, man. If you're trying to be like, oh man, why is he using this guest or why is he doing that? Your podcast is in trouble.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to, for instance, me being on your podcast, and obviously tomorrow I'm on another podcast. I feel like the more I get on podcasts, the more it helps my brand. The more it's going to help your brand. The more I get other people on your show that were on my show, it just makes everything more relevant, bro.
See, I need to get better about that because I'm so hard with time management, and I've been asked to be on several different podcasts, and I've turned some of them down. I'm like, I don't want you to take offense to it, but like, I just right now my time doesn't allow. It doesn't mean that I don't want to do it in the future, but like, I do a lot on the back end of this thing too, and then I have another business that I'm running, and then so it's kind of crazy, but I think maybe I should pick that up a little bit more.
It's hit and miss. I mean, I get asked a lot, and there's sometimes I get to tell people, not this month, hit me up next month, please.
Yeah.
I mean, just
that's why
please.
I don't take offense to it either, man.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the people that I'm reaching out to, when they tell me no or something,
I'm cool.
I'm cool with it. I'm like, oh,
I get
cool,
it,
yeah.
man.
Whenever it's
maybe
convenient,
later this summer or
yeah.
next month or whatever. Because it's hard when we
you
have
think about,
in studio.
like, how busy I am with this, how busy you are with yours. Imagine somebody imagine Joe Rogan or imagine, Justin or like,
it is. Well, you can't say Justin because that guy's just golfing, training, pussy ass. But that's what I'm saying. But like, it is like, I don't take offense of it either. But so like when I tell people no, I'm like, hey man, wait a couple weeks and then let's do it. I think I've told you, I was like, hey man, let's do it in May.
Yeah, I think for this one,
yeah,
right?
I said let's do it in May, and I'm right now I'm swamped.
But that didn't bum me out or anything.
And
I
I
was
said,
like, yeah,
cool,
get it.
we'll do it, right? And I'm the same way, and I just feel like timing is everything.
It really is.
And like for me, it is like I knew I wanted to come on here and do it again. One, because I always have fun on here too, and
Awesome,
I
man.
know what it's like to run a podcast. I do. Content is the key, and I feel like when you are having a podcast, you need content, and the way we do it is in-person interviews, and that is something special and hard to do, especially where we
I like
live.
your idea with the trailer, man. That's
Yeah.
super rad, and especially for what you're doing because
Yeah.
you're always in
I'm trying
an
to do
outdoor
things,
setting, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
and it was a
great.
write-off.
Yeah.
Smart, it's smart, right? And I wanted to use it for my family too. You know what I mean?
That's great.
And so it worked out.
So we do a few remote, right?
Yep.
Like if there's somebody, and I'd like to get more of these going remote. But like we just recorded one in Florida this month. The
saw
last
that,
one
yep.
that we dropped. Awesome friend of mine. This dude is fucking salt of the earth, man. He'd be great for yours too if you want to hear some good rock stories. Like toured with AC/DC, U2,
Really?
like, and he's a younger guy too.
I just want to hear the story.
Well, he's our age.
Yeah, I just want to hear the stories when they snorted coke out of stripper's ass. Oh wait, was that a movie?
Yeah,
But
that's the Hollywood version.
Yeah, that's the Hollywood version. So you're saying
Doesn't
that,
mean it didn't happen, but
but yeah, that's what I'm saying is like I want to hear
few
cool
nights,
ass stories. But yeah, honestly, and that's
but
one
like
thing.
the remote ones are good too. They
Yeah.
come with challenges, but like we went down and recorded our 100th at my buddy Andrew Arabito's spot, Half
Yeah.
Face Blades, and that was awesome. Did a whole blade giveaway.
That's
and,
dope.
like, it was. I love going on locations like and doing them there too.
Yeah.
It's cool being.
It's
in the
easier
shop.
on the guests too, and that's one
It
thing
is.
I've noticed on with the trailer. Especially from where we are at. We're up here in the foothills, the mountains, and it takes
It's a little bit of. It is the
it's a haul.
mountainside.
It's a haul, right? Yeah, exactly, right. And it's for us now in the summertime. For me, it's a lot easier because if I get a hunter or whatever,
Right.
I'm like, hey, bring your bow up. Let's shoot before, hang out, and they're like, absolutely, a barbecue, whatever, and then we'll podcast. So I try to make it as easy as stressful for the guests.
Yeah, you got a cool spot with
Yeah.
the range and everything.
Now sometimes the guests don't like it. They're like, man, I got to be in and out. And I'm like, okay, how about let's just reschedule this then? Because I want them to have a good experience. I don't want them to be stressed and worried on time. And I've had guests stay the night. just because we've
I almost stayed the night
yeah
the time I did
yeah
yours.
because like literally they we get drinking and we have
I almost
fun.
army crawled out.
Yeah, I have shuffleboard, darts. We have
Yeah.
games and we just play and we play music and I just do this atmosphere where I try to make it as fun as them because it's a hog to come here,
Yeah.
right? And to me, I just feel like with the trailer now, I feel like it's more convenient for them. So I'm like, hey, just hop in and let's roll.
Get in the van.
Yeah, get in the van. I got this. I got these chocolates for you. And but yeah, that's what I'm saying is like to me, it's just been a little bit easier for me. And like if I go to TAC events, I'll knock.
That's perfect.
Like 2 or 3 of them out right
especially
away.
if you go to the one in Utah,
Colorado,
whatever,
or
Park
Utah.
City or whatever
Yep.
that is.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding
So
me?
it's just convenient,
Yeah.
I planned on going to the PI, in Vegas, and just pull up there and
just sit out front, and catch
just
guys.
yeah,
coming in
just
and
get it out, right? And so we were gonna go up there and train with Justin, and I was like, I'm gonna drive up there, I'm gonna bring the trailer, and I'm just gonna pull it up next to it and record podcasts there when we're in our downtime.
It's so crazy how many fighters live here in Colorado
Oh,
too, and I'm such a big fan of that. And like,
Yeah.
you're here, like Gaethje's here, Trevor, Mark,
You go to a gym, you can find
Chris.
some guys
I
that
mean,
come in.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, we got some coming in this week, and then I've been taking my kid through the podcast, luckily, and those guys are so fucking cool down at Landau Performance. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
if-
Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren's fucking G.
All those guys are cool.
Eric
as hell.
Tilley's who I've been
Eric.
taking my son down.
Okay.
So we're in there the other day, and like Saturday morning or something, and Cody Garbrandt walks
Yep.
in. Like it's just nonstop in there. So
Yep.
it's like, I don't know. It's just Denver's a cool ass spot.
It's
man,
it's
for-
the spot to me. I think it is. It
For
is
pro
the spot.
athletes.
Yeah, it's so close to Colorado Springs
Mhm.
the Olympic Training Center down there. But just the core of gyms that we have here, it's
incredible, man.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you turn on a UFC fight on Saturday. Mark Montoya is in the corner. Sometimes 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
He has, to me, I feel like Mark has probably the most UFC fighters in the roster out of Colorado, I think. I feel that. I mean, I know high altitude or elevation has
We've had
tons.
so many. I mean, a majority of the fighters that we've had in have either trained with him at one time
Yeah.
or.
Yeah.
And it's crazy I didn't know it, but the time I had him in, and maybe I was wrong on this, or maybe I understood it wrong, but like, there's a reason why so many are there too. He's got a high success rate, like it's like 70% or 80%.
I mean, you're
wins.
talking about guys that aren't even in the UFC yet. They're like in LFA, Bellator.
Did you watch the LFA fight with Big Toe?
Yeah. Yeah. I just
Holy
saw
shit, that was an incredible
And
fight.
he said he
man.
was going to either be a champion in the cage and outside the cage, and that's Mark right there for you to a T. And me personally, me and Mark have always had respect for each other, and I just respect anybody in the game that, dude, I told him one year, I said, dude, I don't know how you do it. You're gone every weekend. I do not want that life.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it comes with when you own the gym and you do it. I do not want that life. I mean, I'm cool.
He
just for a few-
sacrificed a lot
Yeah,
to,
you know what I
to
mean?
have what he has.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact. Yeah.
It's just something that I don't want. I would never want. And some people are good at it, like Trevor did it forever, and a lot of guys do it now. And I take my hat off to them because, man, they are not selfish.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of me because I'm selfish because I want to be doing what I want to do. And right now they're doing it because they're doing it for the business. They're doing it for the fighter. They're doing it for their family. And 90% of it is because they believe
You
in
think
the fighter.
juggling 2 families is hard?
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I feel like
I couldn't imagine how stressful that would be.
Oh,
though. And on a real note,
dude,
like,
I feel like I'm coaching and babysitting Justin. You know what I mean? During camp, and it's just like I'm like, dude, you're a grown ass man. I'm tired of babysitting you. Come on,
dude, some of my favorite Instagram posts are you and him going at it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and talking shit and putting dirty diapers in his car.
Oh yeah, it's like the one that went really viral and was when I pushed him in the bush.
I
and
love
he was
that
seeing
one,
me.
yeah.
Dude, I laugh and laugh still to this day when it pops up. And
I've seen it re-pop
yeah,
up, and it was like 2 years old.
yeah.
And I watched the whole thing.
It's
again.
so
I
funny,
was
and I
like,
go screaming like a little kid, and it's so funny because it was just raw, and I had no idea. We had no idea Trevor was recording it, right?
That's
and
awesome.
He was all like, "Dude, I gotta start recording you guys because you guys just make my day so much better." And it was just, it's a continuous, yeah, it's a continuous, just a continuous battle between me and him, and but that's just it. You know what I mean? Like it literally is just a blast with him. You know, I really do.
He's like family to you,
Yeah,
right?
he really is my little brother. He calls me I'm his little brother, but I'm older than him, and literally he is. You know, we had a great conversation on the podcast, and this is something that I will say about Trevor. He doesn't do interviews.
Oh, he doesn't.
He doesn't do podcasts. He's just been burnt too many times. You know how the media replays,
right,
says things. So he quit doing it. I think he was coaching Nate Marquardt one year, and then
so like they scramble your words around, right? Make you sound
it made him look like he
You
didn't
know,
have his fighter
back.
back.
I can totally understand that because I had the same thing happen, or I'd seen it happen in the rock and roll industry, and I had an old road dog tell me one time, he's like, there's going to be all these opportunities come up where they're going to want to interview the crew or like do something. He's like, don't ever do media. So I just kind of stuck with it. It was kind of my mentor. And you met this guy, and he was right, man. Like a couple of the bands that I was with, they would do these DVDs and they wanted like behind the scenes footage. And I was okay if I was like working, right? But I would not do an interview because then they just take all the shit and make you look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, and you know, it's good and bad. Like a guy like Trevor, I get it. You know, he's been working with some of the, you know, when they interview me, I like it. I'm building my brand.
mm-hmm.
I'm doing it. One thing I have learned from him, watch what you say and how you say it. And, you know, of course, me, you know, after a win, I don't give a fuck.
Unfiltered, right?
I told you, motherfuckers, he was coming in. I think it's on Gladiators Unleashed IG, Jeremy. I think. I could be wrong, but I think it is. But either way, so, you know, he just gives me the green light. Oh, he goes, let's do another podcast. I'm like, you sure? He goes, yeah, man. I love it on yours, you know, because they get me pickled. They got me fucked up on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they just kept down pouring.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but it's in the queue.
It's just Trevor is so he is so passionate on what like his fighters.
He seems like a great guy,
dude. He is
like,
the best.
Yeah.
I swear to God, he really is.
I've
the
never
best.
met him. I had a chance to meet him the other night at that bare knuckle thing I went to or whatever, and but they were just getting bombarded. Him and Justin walked in the door, and Cowboy was with him too, so it was like, good luck, dude.
Yeah,
like I was like, this is not the time to go up and be like, hey, I'm so and so. Yeah,
he literally is generally just a good dude and
major fan of him, man.
Yeah,
like,
when you listen to it and like how he always words things is like, man, I want to talk about like you guys. Because everybody's like says, you know, I'm the head coach and I do this and that, but it takes everybody's. He just knows how to make everybody feel good in the room, and I think that is why every fighter he works with is so successful.
I think that's what it takes to have us to be a successful coach. Because Mark's the same way.
Yeah.
Like he's happy for my success, his fighter success, his kid's success.
Yep.
You know. Jeremy pushing buttons success, like he's just he understands that we're a team, and like he gives credit, like whatever he brings in, he always brings for Jeremy too, or like he's just thought out, you know, like
and that's what I'm saying, a selfish leader, and I think that's what he
especially
is,
when you're going into war, right? Because this is the closest thing. I mean, shout out to all the men and women that serve this country and are first responders
always.
And stuff, right? Like that's a whole nother thing we're talking about. But like from a
it's our entertainment,
sport,
it's our for entertainment wise. It's not WWE, nothing against that, but this is real shit. Like boxing, a hand-to-hand combat, like you know,
combat samba might be the only thing in the Olympics.
And you brought up bare knuckle, right?
Yeah,
you went to that, and I feel like that may be the next big thing, I think.
Holy shit. I had no idea what I was walking into when I went to that.
Yeah.
And then McGregor showing up and just like,
Oh, it was nuts,
just
right?
my amount of friends that were there and your friends. And then like I met Nestor for the first
Yep.
time there. We went to an after party deal. It was a fucking great time.
Yeah.
The only person that wasn't there, I think, was you
Yeah.
and I mean,
Yeah.
everybody
and I was
was
supposed
there.
to be. Walker was there with Nestor.
Walker was there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Mighty Mouse was there.
Yeah.
Fucking Clay Guida.
Who's
like,
there?
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
was star-studded as
Yeah,
fuck.
and
man.
I was gonna be there with Justin and Trevor, but I had the family here, and I wanted to watch Gertz.
That's dope,
I
man.
know.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch Gertz, Kamosi,
Kamosi
all
was
my
awesome.
all my guys. I wanted to watch them all, and the thing I will say about that sport is, dude, do not blink. It is like, it's fucking balls to the wall, man. It's nuts.
It's crazy, man. Well, just where they start them. I had no idea until I had Chris on for the interview.
Gladiators Unleashed.
They started them from 3 feet apart in the
Wait,
ring.
what do you want me to try? What do you want me to look up?
Gladiators Unleashed.
Oh, I was looking on film.
I think
Yeah.
there's a
Glad-
link from one of those pages,
Not that
right?
one.
Nope, Gladiators _ or yeah, it's just Gladiators Unleashed, I think.
I know. We are too. We get
Dude, I'm
shadow
telling
bans.
you, I am.
I've had
100%.
professionals tell me straight up.
Right
like,
there, yeah, that dude. I'm telling you, man, it's literally
Like for you to have to
wait,
type
wait,
out the
find one,
entire
find one.
thing
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, you have
underscore and
to.
everything.
It doesn't populate at all.
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah,
I know, dude.
it's super weird.
Fuck.
Wait, what am I looking up?
Look up for Justin getting pushed in the.
I was looking for that.
Yeah,
it
it's on this
Is it
page.
Reels?
I think it's on this. Maybe. I think
See,
so.
that's the thing that fucks me up. Am I looking for Reels or is it because you can?
It has to be go down.
You can put video on the
Oh really?
on the front page.
I know it is. Just because I want a good laugh.
I do too. I want to see this shit
It's so funny,
It's
dude.
been a minute.
I honestly think it's coming up. I really do.
Speaking of, is that Chris right there?
Yep, that's
There.
Chris,
Yeah.
and we were at Derek's retirement party there. Boy, did we drink the tequila that night.
Dude, there's. Thank God I was out of town.
You had Derek on
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
had Derek on. I actually called you because you had him on like 2 days before, and I was like,
Okay.
"Yo, I don't want you to think that I'm poaching your guest."
Oh
And you were
no,
like,
Derek's good. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a huge fucking guest right there
Yeah.
for you.
man, he's another great guy.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy, bro.
That dude's fun.
Yeah, it's still down. I think you're coming up on it. Oh, hey, go up real quick. Look at this
Yeah,
one. Go to the one right in my face. Got him right there. Have you
here?
seen that one? He had no idea what I was doing. Oh, where's that? Not
Is this
that, not
Snyder?
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
What'd you do? Right there, the 31.4.
30.
Oh yeah, go
This one?
go back
The one that's
one
right,
over.
Oh, there.
right there. See if you can play that.
You have to turn on your mic
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh wait.
Will your mouth still remember the taste of these nuts?
Everybody was like, "Oh my god!" That was before the Chandler fight. That was before the Michael Chandler fight, and
That's
like
hilarious.
literally, people were like, "Dude, how the hell do you get away with that?" I'm like, "Well, I technically don't because
Yeah.
I get my ass." There it is.
Yeah, this
Which one,
next
which
one.
one?
Go down.
Yeah, go down one more.
There's that
Right there to the right.
one over. Yeah.
Right there. See, we're just slap boxing, and then he smokes me right there. I knew it was coming. That's so funny. Oh.
That was like the perfect shove.
Oh, it was perfect, dude.
I imagine like some do-gooder trying to break up this fight between two animals like this.
No, but so what you guys don't know is my kids are in the car and they hear me screaming. They're screaming. They're like, "Daddy, you okay? Justin, stop!"
Uncle Justin, stop.
And I'm laughing. I'm like, "No, we're good, babe." Even was like, my daughter was like, "Justin, stop!"
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
I'm glad that you guys have a good time and show it, man. Because
Man, when it all comes down to it, we're all, he's Mr. Superstar, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's the one with, 1.8 million followers. We go to an airport, he's getting autographs, he wants pictures. We go anywhere, restaurant, and I look at him, and I see a goober, right? Like, I'm like, dude, how the hell,
Right.
And we just have fun, and he is one person that I will say about this. I've been around a lot of fighters in his caliber that have changed. They get a little money in their pocket, they get some stats, and they get followers, and they become assholes. And that was part of the reason why I quit probably coaching so many.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I'm just over this whole thing. And it's not like I'm like some special coach or anything, but I will tell you this. When I coach a fighter, I'm all in. Like, my family's all in, they know, and I'm lucky enough where Justin has made it to the top of where he's at, where he makes a lot of money and he takes care of us. So it's easier for me to be like, it's Justin's fight camp.
Right. Because a
And-
lot of these up-and-comers, some of them
No, they
still
make
have
nothing.
full-time jobs.
Yeah, they have full-time jobs, and that was part of the reason why. Like, a lot of it is I was tired of getting burnt on. Which, no offense, I know what it's like to be a fighter.
I
It's
probably
hard.
shouldn't say this publicly, but anytime that those guys reach out to me that are not at the top of it, dude, it's like, you got a seat here anytime. Anything I can do to help you.
Yeah,
Because that is a fucking sacrifice and a half.
it's
And
so
you know
brutal.
firsthand, right? Like, you
It's
probably
brutal.
went through that when you were fighting. I mean, the money was even worse.
Oh, it's
then,
way
right?
worse. Well, we were talking about this the other day. I got a bonus from Dana White when I fought in the UFC fight night.
Mm-hmm. You got the fight of the night or whatever?
I got a bonus.
Okay.
Me and my partner. Guess what the bonus was? Just guess. I mean, it's 50 G's now.
Right. I'm going to say 10 grand.
Cool. 2,500.
Oh,
What?
I was gonna say 15.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
2,500.
Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up. And
Yeah.
at that time, I thought I made it, man. I was like, cool, I made it. Dude,
Damn.
what would I do to have
You can't even
50
pay
grand?
a mortgage with
No,
that.
you ain't
Yeah,
doing shit with
Yeah.
2,500, man. No. You know what I mean? Like, literally, and that's what I'm trying to tell people is like, dude, like I try to tell, and Justin's different. Like, he takes care of us, all of us. And, me and him have never sat down and say, hey, I need this percentage, because I would have shot myself in the foot if I did that. Right? He always pays more and takes care of us, and it's not only
That's good
just
to hear,
yeah,
man.
it's not only just during fight camp. I'm talking all year long. This guy will come over, or he'll surprise us with something, and it's just he's family to us, right? And that's why my wife doesn't hesitate when I got to go do something with him or go anywhere, or
And it's
if
kind
I-
of cool that it's, 3 or 4 times a year now,
yeah.
right? So
well,
it's not like...
no, this is the second time he's fought in a year in probably 6 years.
Oh,
So this is
right.
a blessing for me
Yeah.
and my family, right? Like, I hate it because it's over summer and I had a lot of shit to plan. But at the same time, it's for the BMF belt. It's for pay-per-view dollars. It's for his career. It's, main event. It doesn't get any sweeter, and I feel like he is at the peak of his career where if shit's going to happen, it's going to happen now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the momentum that he has and everything happened. I mean, look at this fight card, dude.
He's in his prime. Yeah, I wanted to check this out.
Look at this fight card, dude.
Damn.
This whole main card could be a
Oh,
main
Bobby
event.
Lee Green is fighting Tony Ferguson?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Tony-
That's going to be
Tony's-
crazy.
Tony's probably gonna go to his
Yeah.
retirement party there, but like,
God damn.
I mean, look at Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
You got Derek Lewis on the beginning of the main card.
Holy shit.
How
Yeah.
many times that guy pay-per-view main event?
He's holds the UFC record for knockouts,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And now I saw you got Kevin Holland. You know what I mean?
Shit, yeah.
I mean, you just have a stat card, and that's just the main card.
Okay, this was where I might need to cash in that free ticket, huh?
It's a good card, man. It's a definitely good card.
Do they have the prelims set up yet?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think so. But, I mean, as
If
if
you
you're,
don't, we're watching it here.
yeah. I mean,
Oh hell
Fuck
yeah!
I mean, here's the thing. As a
That's
as,
crazy.
as a
291.
as a main event, and you got a stat card like that, and you're in charge of getting pay-per-view dollars like Poirier and Justin, that's a good paycheck.
Oh hell yeah!
That's a good paycheck, man, and good for them because they both deserve it.
Both
they
those
put their
guys
time.
deserve it. Both those
And-
guys are rock solid, man.
Yeah, it's
I like
gonna be
Poirier
crazy.
a lot.
Yeah.
As
Oh
a
yeah.
fan, like,
Oh, yeah, he's
he
a
seems
G.
like a good guy.
I mean, he put it on McGregor that one year, and and I just
think of McGregor fucking talking shit with a fucking crooked leg, man.
broken leg. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that bare knuckle thing was a spectacle, man. It was like I didn't know what I was getting into.
Dude, I'm
going
telling
to
you,
that. And
it's
here's Kamosi's fight
yeah,
here.
it's just crazy.
He had a first round knockout.
He's had a couple now, I
Yeah.
think, and
He's kind of built for this,
oh,
man.
I know.
Like,
He
that
really
guy
is.
You were saying don't blink.
Yeah.
Watch.
Boom. This was his last one, right?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Even his first one was just fucking crazy too, and I was like, God damn, dude.
We had so much fun at the after party. Honestly, that's why I'm backlogged with guests right now. I'm like, sorry guys, I'll get you in when I can. I'm trying
Yeah.
to do one a week, you know, like
yep.
I could be cranking out 5 or 6 just
I
from
know. And then you get in then you're like, fuck, why'd I do that? Right? I know. Believe me, I'm a 1 a week guy, dude.
yeah.
I really am. And there's a couple times where I'm like, dude, I got this podcast.
I'm trying to turn it up, like, and I could probably do two a week or something. The problem is my production people can't
Keep
turn
up.
it around that fast, right?
And here's
like,
the thing, what I've noticed.
like I need a dedicated just one
Yeah.
person or something.
Here's one thing I've noticed though too. In that week, there's that time where people can play catch up on other podcasts that want to listen to mine. So if a download is low on one, I notice in that week others catch up. They're like, oh shit, this is cool. So if you put out 2
Yeah.
a week, the downloads are gonna be like juggling back and forth.
Yeah.
So you're really not jumping ahead. And that's why I think I like the 1 a week.
It
and-
blows me away when I go and look at the analytics, which I haven't in a long time. I purposely stopped looking at them because it got to the point where it's just like a waste of time for me. Occasionally I'll look at them when I want to know, like, sometimes sponsors want to know. So like,
Oh,
we
yeah,
just got a
you
new
gotta do
sponsor,
that.
and they
Yep.
were like, "Hey, would you mind if we see some analytic
Some
numbers?"
numbers,
And
yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. Like, I'm transparent with it,
Yeah.
you know." So we sent it over, and they were happy with it. But anyways, like, it's crazy to me that like our very first episode still gets downloaded.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
that's something that I cringe on. I'm like, God, I was so
so
bad.
horrible,
Like,
right? Yeah.
dude, I was so shitty that our guest that we had in, I called him Justin instead of Jason. Like
Oh, yeah.
at the very beginning of the episode, right? And I haven't changed a bit.
Yeah.
Like I could have gone back and edited that
Yeah.
out or deleted the episode, but I'm like, fuck, it's there forever.
Yeah,
right?
no.
Like, yeah.
Dude, there's sometimes I ask them, there's some, like, I'll get like 2 guests on the same time. I'm like, and who? And, like, I'll get one guest that I asked. I'm like, hey, bring somebody, whoever you want. And I'm like, who are you? And I asked him in a nice way. And I'm like, and it was a fucked up name. And I'm like, I'll just let you introduce yourself.
I'm going to nickname your ass.
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, I'll fuck up your name. Because I do, you know what I mean? Like, and I'd rather just have them introduce themselves. And I feel bad because it's a host job, but
Right.
literally, I'm horrible with it, and it's just the part of it. That's a guest I want.
Whoa.
I like her a lot.
Oh, Jessie Jess?
I like her a lot.
I think we talked about her when I was up at your spot. 'Cause
Maybe.
you guys
I
asked
like
me
her
some
too.
sort of question. You're
Yeah.
like, you got 3 female UFC
yeah,
fighters.
she's one of them. She's
And,
one of them. I like her for some reason,
Yeah,
man.
she's awesome.
I like it. Maybe it's just because she's like,
I'll let you in
a
on a
little
little
fast.
key, and I hope that she doesn't get offended that I'm saying this publicly,
Mm-hmm.
but she's battled with addiction and stuff, and she gets asked to have podcasts done all the time because I've asked her. We've been going
Yeah.
back and forth, and she's receptive to it, but we have alcohol around and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and she's like, I'm okay with it as long as they're not like trying to force me to drink.
Oh,
or, like,
really?
anything, because she's sober now.
Yeah.
And like that
Oh,
was
she
a
was-
big
she was-
battle.
she
So it
was used to drink, huh?
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
used to be a serious problem.
Yeah, she'd have a problem on
And
my
I think-
podcast. I mean, I never force anybody to fucking drink.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
Yeah.
God damn it,
Some of the slickers been here for
That's pretty old.
yeah.
hey, You can't find that shit in my
aging.
house.
But you know what? You brought me a bottle of this the last time
Uh-huh.
we recorded, and it was so good. We keep just buying it.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
good,
It gets
huh?
fucking
Yeah,
drank. Yeah.
It's good. It's a good one. I was gonna bring you another one. But
Don't
fuck
worry.
that, dude.
Dude,
I literally, I drove in this shit. I was
Bobby
like, because there's a new one. There's one that I like,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to share with you because I was gonna buy one for me and one for you, and because I'm out. And
Let's go tequila next time.
okay.
I'm on a tequila kick
Okay.
lately. Yeah.
All right. Let's do tequila.
I'll bring one to you.
I
too.
tell yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. You guys need to come over, and
Yeah.
we'll do one.
Podcast or not, dude. Let's
No,
hang out.
I
Yeah.
want to do one because I feel like obviously we could just do this. And to me, I have a few topics that I'd love to talk to you about because I feel like people get everything twisted on like, oh man, you do a Mountside podcast and you do this and that. Are you competing with him? He's right down the road. I'm like, bro, that's my buddy.
Oh, really? You get
Oh
asked
yeah,
that?
oh yeah.
Because I get asked that about you sometimes, and I'm just pretty transparent with. I'm like, no, he's a fucking great dude. He's an awesome guy. Like, you should totally go out on his or hit him up or
straight
like,
up. That's exactly. And like, I just don't want, cross. I'm like, bro, go.
Yeah.
You'll have fun. It's cool. It's right in Evergreen, and I've been on it. It's good. I've been on it a few times. I tell him, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah.
You're a repeat. You're coming on at least once a year.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, go.
Repeat offender.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I hear that's one thing I will say is like, I feel like, I've been on yours a couple times and you've been on mine once. It's time for you
So
to
what do
come
they
back.
say when they leave, though?
Right?
Because that's the
Like,
real
who
test.
the fuck was that guy?
Who
No.
did you send me to?
Yeah, no, and it's all good. It's just like literally, and that's one thing I need to do is we should do another one. And
Yeah.
like I said, my
I'm all about
whole
it.
deal.
I had a
is,
great time the last time I was on yours.
I have I've been on this Casamigos. kick.
Oh yeah, yeah. that's
I
good
like
shit. I think we
Casamigos.
got
You got some?
Casamigos
Yeah,
right there.
I love Don
I think
Julio.
we drank it all.
I love Don Julio.
Mm-hmm.
That happened with Chris.
My wife's
Oh,
been
that's
even
right.
drinking. Oh, with tequila.
Yeah, and Michael Pintar is a big. That's another dude you should have on, especially
Really?
with your following.
He's
I
good.
got to connect you guys.
Yeah.
He gave me that bison picture that's out there in the lobby, and he's awesome. He's a pro rodeo photographer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's just fucking
Is he
good,
local?
dude. Yeah, he lives right here in Evergreen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like one of
Hit
the
me
best
up. Put us in a text.
pro rodeo photographers
Really?
in the country.
I just love photography, period,
Yeah.
too, so that'd be cool.
He's a dope dude.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He'd be a great guest for you. He's
Yeah.
just down the road.
He called.
It's
He called me a pussy at my at his birthday party for leaving the windows down in my car when it rained.
Oh,
so
really?
he saw me sprinting to my car. And looked at me. He's like, "You pussy."
That's
This
a
guy
pro-
runs
that's a
away
rodeo.
from bulls
That's a
and
rodeo
shit.
guy.
I'm like, my fucking windows are down. Why are you calling me that? Like, he just like looked at me and disgust.
That's funny.
It was
He's such a
hilarious.
good dude, and when we had him on, like he's kind of blowing up right now too.
Uh-huh.
Like
Really?
when we had him on, he had like hardly any. I'm not saying that we blew him up. It was strictly all him,
Yeah.
and his photos are just fucking. Pull
He's
up some
good.
of his photos real quick,
Yeah,
Jeremy.
do it real quick.
Pintar
I'm gonna go
photography.
piss real quick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, these photos are fucking incredible, man.
Well, not only that, it's
They're
just
so
like,
cool. It's like nostalgic American. It's like part of American history. Is this? You know, I love the horse photos too. And like, the bull riding is kind of like the shining star of this sport or whatever. And I love that he's kind of portraying more of like the horse culture.
Bronco, yeah.
That's pretty badass photo though. That bull rider.
Dude, he's fucking.
Oh, that was right here in Evergreen. Evergreen
Is that this
Rodeo.
one?
Yeah.
No shit.
It's got the Evergreen
Where are you
Rodeo
going?
logo on it.
Are you going?
No, I'm going to be in Nashville. It's next weekend, right?
No, it's no, it's. Hang on a second. I have to leave my.
Shout out to Evergreen Rodeo. If you live anywhere in the state of Colorado, it is worth the drive to come in to a beautiful setting, small town rodeo arena. If you're into rodeo, it's pretty fucking cool spot, man. It's epic.
I've been out of town every year since I lived here, and then last year was the only time that we got a chance. And Michael's brother actually took my son,
Okay.
got him VIP treatment, and It was
that's awesome.
fucking awesome. James got totally behind the scenes, everything.
Nice.
Autographs. It was awesome.
Have you ever been to the Evergreen Rodeo?
No.
Here? You should take your kids,
It's
man.
good?
It's a good time. Beautiful setting.
When
it's
is it?
hometown deal. I think it's Father's Day weekend or something.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah. Cool. They'd enjoy it.
These are badass photos.
Look at, I mean, it's incredible. Jeremy, scroll through some of these.
Yeah,
It's
those are
insane.
bad.
What is this?
Yeah, that's dope.
I mean, just to catch, it really shows you what these fucking guys go through. You want to talk about some underpaid athletes,
Look,
too.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at what this guy's about to experience.
Look at that fucking muscle on that horse, dude.
It's insane.
But Mike just takes, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I don't know
No,
how he
it's
captures
also-
some of
it's-
this shit.
It's also he's got the composition down and everything. It's
Oh,
really-
yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely has the equipment too.
He's a true professional.
I would love to pick his brain and talk to him.
He's such a cool dude,
He's a
too,
fun
man.
dude,
He's a
too.
great
That's-
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He's a good person to hang out with.
Really?
I think we
both
killed
really
a bottle
fun
of
dudes.
tequila during his
Oh,
episode.
he's definitely
They're
welcome.
both a problem. They're great dudes.
Yeah, those are great photos. Look at that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think when he came on, he had like a couple thousand followers. See what his following is now, Jeremy. I mean, it's got to be. If you're not following Pintar
shit, yeah,
Photography,
Yeah.
I mean, you should be. And
He's right from Michael.
if you want some cool wall art, I think he sells some of it as wall art. He shoots for a ton of magazines and pro rodeo. He's shot for bull riders only and all kinds of crazy shit. But shout out Mike.
Yeah. He
Yeah, he's a good dude.
yeah. I would love
And
to
he
chat
lives
with
right
him.
here, so.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely love to sit in and bullshit with him just because I love photography. I really do.
Did you meet his brother? Did Brian come?
Yeah,
with him?
they actually stopped by after
So
our
Brian
episode.
used to ride bulls,
Okay.
Mm.
and now he's like a mortgage guy.
Right.
You know?
He's a mortgage broker.
He got smart. Way more money too.
But you go skiing with him or whatever, hang out at the bar with him. You're like, wait, there's something else fucking going
Way
on
more
with
money.
this dude. There's something else going on with this guy.
Right.
So he's just a mortgage guy, but then, you know, you have
Used
a
to
couple
climb on
drinks.
the back of
You get a
bulls.
couple drinks with him, and then he's like, nah, dude, I used to be pro rodeo. Like,
Yeah.
Oh shit,
fucking
that's
awesome.
crazy.
That's
Those
one
guys.
thing. One
He's a
thing
cool
I
dude.
will say.
You got a
about the
big
rodeo.
country following though,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot
Yeah.
of your
Yeah,
And,
they know these dudes.
Yeah, I feel like rodeo guys, MMA guys, they just click because they're fucking got shit for brains. I think you know what I mean. They're fearless. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
just fearless, and
They
they're like,
really
oh,
are.
they're adrenaline junkies, is what we are. You know what I mean? Like we love the. But like, here's the thing: I would rather go across the ring and get in a physical fist fight with somebody that I know I'm gonna get my ass kicked. That bull will fucking kill me, bro.
That's
Well,
crazy.
he
I
doesn't
can't
know when
do
to
it.
stop.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I could not do it.
You know what blows me away too is the bullfighters are pretty badass.
Yeah.
Like there's this kid Blake Miller that I've been going back and forth with. He's fucking stud and just like they literally throw themselves in front of these bulls
just to get
to
tossed.
to save a cowboy. So like when a cowboy
you're-
gets
the
bucked
guys
off
that
a bull,
save 'em, yep.
yeah. And they'll put their body in between. It's basically like taking a bullet.
Yeah,
for
they're like
somebody, man.
bodyguards,
Yeah,
dude, is
so
what they
shout out
are.
to Blake Miller. We've been going. Check out this kid, man. He's a fucking stud. I made fun of him for his hair.
Oh
like,
shit!
Holy
He does-
shit!
He's like
What
one
was
of the,
that?
Oh shit!
What a maniac!
Where's this guy
So
from?
I'll hit you up. He's gonna come through town. He wants to do the podcast.
Yeah, where's he from?
Somewhere down in Texas,
yeah, of
of course.
Yeah.
Dude, look at his ass.
But you know what's crazy is like he's sponsored by Vans or something. He does this all in Vans.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody else is wearing cleats and shit. He's
Yeah.
wearing fucking waffle shoes.
Hey, that's smart.
Yeah.
Trap.
I love
cap-
Vans.
Yeah,
I'm a
he's
big fan of it.
He's capiting the market right there.
Hit up some of his other videos. I mean, like this dude is a sacrificer for sure. But yeah, shout out Blake Miller. We'll get you in here soon, buddy. He was supposed to come and then ended up like breaking his leg.
How
you
did he
could
break
see
his
why.
leg?
I wonder why. I wonder how.
Or something. So he couldn't come through. But when he comes through, if he's got time, maybe he could hit your spot.
Yeah,
after
I wonder if
mine or
he's
something.
going to come in for.
That'd be
It's
cool.
over Father's Day, so it's
Oh, he's gonna be at the
18th.
Evergreen Rodeo.
I don't think I don't think he's doing that.
So
but
17th.
I know.
No, I was just
he'll be
talking about
coming
the
to
rodeo,
Colorado's a huge rodeo state.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
Steamboat, and there's a bunch of other ones that happen. But
Which one?
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he has fucking nut size of bowling balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I can't do that. I can't. I don't even know if I could wear one of those.
Shit.
Yeah, see that?
Stop, dude. What are you doing? Get out of there. Oh, no.
And you know that's bars right behind him, and he's just
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
a
all
steel
metal.
cage, man.
yeah.
There's no padding on that.
Getting his ass
Oh
kicked.
shit! Look at that, dude.
He looks like he's out there in street clothes too.
Yeah,
He
he
looks
just-
like he was doing a
looks like
favor
me.
or something.
Yeah, he looks like he's having a
Yeah.
fucking walk in the park.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. No, thank you.
What a nut.
I can't do that. I admit it. I can't do that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what we were talking about before this.
Fucking badass shit, bro.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like always.
That's what happened. We pulled up
Yeah.
this guy.
It is. You
doing
were talking
bad
about
shit.
you were talking about Kamosi, and then you were talking about
Oh,
this.
right,
and you were
right, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then maybe I
it
take
just
that back
evolved.
then.
I don't want to do either or,
Yeah.
you know, like the bare knuckle thing
Yeah,
or
I-
this
I-
or UFC. Like
I don't know.
I'll train a little jiu-jitsu. I feel like I can walk away
Yeah.
from that. A little sore every once in a while.
But then you look at Chris Camozzi, and you look at his side piece, his little girlfriend that he got now. Holy smoke show!
Oh, he's got like a supermodel. He's
Yeah,
got
supermodel
OnlyFans,
fitness, yeah.
Like,
And I'm like, dude, what are
I
you
didn't want
doing?
to go there.
Oh, I
I mean,
will. I said,
you didn't
I told
notice,
Whitney,
but-
I said, whenever you leave that zero, come to the hero, baby. Oh, I just
but
played.
you can get away with that
Yeah,
shit.
I know.
dude.
Yeah, a little
That's
bit.
just Luke,
A
right?
little bit,
That's
yeah.
Luke.
But like
stand in
honestly,
my driveway.
what a like seriously like
Me and Chris had a great time.
It's like a
man.
power couple.
yeah,
It's
like they
crazy.
really are cool. She's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they are just really compatible and do it, and like I will say this about Chris. I have known Chris when I first moved up here in Denver. He was fighting the UFC when I was fighting the UFC, and I remember going to the Cowboy Lounge or something like downtown Denver one night, and he was in there and I was in there, and we're like, "What's up? What's up?" And he was Mr. Factory X, and I was at Grudge, and we just knew each other, and dude, we always just got along. And then his brother started fighting, and
His brother's a cop now.
yeah,
or something, right?
is he? Yeah, cop or
Yeah.
firefighter. Yeah, cop. And yeah, man, it just you want to talk about like generally good people. Chris is good people,
Yeah.
and that is why he has.
We
smoked
hit it
over a
off
lot.
right away, man.
Yeah,
And,
he has.
like, he
And you know, and I was like,
talk about a pro athlete that has his shit together, man.
Yeah.
Like he's so responsive to emails and everything.
Yeah.
Like I was worse than him, and
I think
normally
he-
it's the other way around.
you know,
I
and
was like,
you know, he's been in the game for a long time
Yeah.
too, right? And I think like he realized like being responsible is kind of a big deal, and it's where he's at now. I feel like Chris could probably hang it up anytime he wants, but he still loves the sport so much. He continues to fight, and he's winning still.
Yeah.
So why not do it? You know.
well, I think his next bare knuckle is probably going to be for
Yeah,
the,
it should.
the lightweight title.
it should be up there. I mean, I don't see anybody beating him in the sport for a minute. You know,
Yeah.
and granted, it's a crazy fight game, but he literally is a guy that would be in the UFC. I mean, he fought. I don't even know how many times he's fought in the UFC, but
Oh,
he was a
ton.
beast, dude.
I think he
Chris
went in
was a beast,
twice,
yeah.
in and out, right?
Let
And then
alone-
he went to Glory for
Yep,
a minute.
and then he's a badass kickboxer to boot.
yeah.
And now he just has to worry about planting his feet, throwing his hands. This is all for him.
You know what's crazy is like when I have these fighters in, I have to go back just maybe because I'm not as schooled in it, and I've been a fan of it, but I'm not in the game,
Yeah.
right? So I'll go back, like Fight Pass is so great, and go back and watch some of these old fights, and it like rekindles like it's a reason for me to go watch those
Oh, yeah.
old fights, and it's so badass. And I had no idea. Like we've had Dustin Jacoby on,
Yep.
he's a
Old-
fucking
yeah.
great guy too. He'd be great on yours as well, but I didn't know it. These two fought
Yep.
at
Yeah,
one
they both
point, and it
fought.
was a great
And I think,
fucking fight.
aren't they at the same team now, or they used to be at the same team now?
Well, I think Dustin's still at Factory X,
Yeah.
and isn't
Yeah,
Kamosi at
that's what I'm
Genesis?
saying. He's at Genesis now, but they used to. I think they used to.
Yeah,
be
they
at
were
the same-
both at
yeah.
Factory X together,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So that's exactly so.
and are you training at
No.
train at Genesis?
I'm
or?
only at Onyx now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
stepped
gotta
out.
feel good. That's like a
in-
private club,
in
right?
June-
like there's no
in-
public.
Yeah, last June I stepped away from Genesis. I used to,
Mm-hmm.
teach classes there, and I loved it. And it just got to a point where the podcast was doing good,
You got to balance it, right?
and I always said, if I made this much money coaching and podcasting, I could step away a little bit and be more home. And I did it, and
Cheers to that. That's awesome.
it made me hustle a little harder on the podcast because I had to, right? But it also made me focus more on Justin too. You know what I mean? So it was good, and I feel like it was a good transition for me. I miss everybody there at Genesis. I really do. Like just the people I used to coach.
Oh, there's so many, like Drew Dover's over there. Grant Neal.
there's so many good guys.
So many guys, right?
And it just, it got to a point where I just needed to take care of myself. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't.
Doesn't mean
would
you're
I change-
burning friendships,
No,
though, right?
I did not burn no friendship. I'm cool with all of them, and it was just a decision where I had to do for my family. And you got to realize, like, I've been in this game for so long, and if I want to be selfish with Justin because he pays me the most and he is who he is, and I can get by with that, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's, to me, it was a no-brainer.
It makes sense too when they're at that level. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of need to focus. They need to have that attention, I guess, right? From a coaching
They're
standpoint.
selfish.
Yeah.
I want to be selfish for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, it freed up so much time for me. And when it's time to go to the gym, I'm not worried about, like, dude, I got to go back down to the gym tonight and teach
And
class.
is it just for Justin? Because like Rose Namajunas is in
so
there, and
Usman's in there. So I'm
and-
just there. I'm all you chill. That's it. Archie. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that come into wrestling, but it's mostly just private. And we got some really cool things happening with that place. I can't
so
say.
rad. And Trevor's got
on
the
the
whole
air.
gear side
Yeah.
too, right?
So like with that whole thing, like it's not my business to tell right now, but it's really going to be cool here in the next couple
rad.
months. And and that's maybe something I step in and start helping out more. But right now I'm happy. I'm generally like happy as hell. Like it's just, I mean, how many times can you say that in a lifetime? Like I'm not busting my ass. I'm not doing an 8 to 5. I get to fucking be with my kids.
That's the most
On the
important
weekends,
thing,
I can
man.
choose to be home or gone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, to me, I'm fucking spoiled. And like today on the IG, I literally put a picture of me and my wife up because I said, dude, I have to give her props because I will take one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she lets me be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's had faith in me this whole time where I've nickeled and dimed her and pretty much been like keeping promises to her and
She's a
failing.
teammate, right?
And she's always just had my back. And I said, dude, and then like we were talking about today's phone call and I was like, dude, I just want to say thank you because it would have never happened if it wasn't this
That's
was
so
possible, right?
Yeah.
And is these 6s?
No.
Oh, good.
Better put like
I might have
7
been-
of them in there.
I might have been fucking be buzzing here in a minute. That'd be twilight. The first time I took those was with Justin,
Oh yeah.
and we were at the craps table, and I thought he gave me fucking acid or mushroom. He was the
Really?
wintergreen 6, and I took 2 of them. Dude, I was
We're
spinning.
enjoying a Zen if you're watching
I was
this.
spinning like
No
a mug.
sponsorship, but
Yeah. Let's talk about that sponsorship. Huh? That's a good one. But like literally, I was spinning my ass. I was like, dude, what'd you give me? I had no idea what they were. He was like, it's nicotine.
well, it's a real problem. I used to chew tobacco when I was younger, and,
Yep.
and then I quit that shit finally. And
These are
then
better.
These are better because
but it's still bad habit. dude.
it's nicotine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy it here and there or whatever, and
I love it.
yeah,
I love it. I'm there's a lot of bad things out there, but this is just something I love.
Especially hanging out doing this or whatever. What do you got coming up on the podcast and stuff? You guys got so much stuff happening. I'm so happy for you, man.
Man,
That's
you know,
rad,
honestly, it is. I'm at the point where it's kind of nice where people hit me up. I check my emails, I check my DMs, and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm rolling through Denver. What's up?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go!" You know. So to me, that has been probably like the piano off the chest. You know what I mean? Like, because you know how hard it is to.
It's kind of headhunting.
Get
For me, it's been the opposite though, because a lot of the people that have reached out that want to come on. I'll just be blatantly. I'm not going to name any names.
Yeah.
But I've tried to keep it real, and I've had. Sometimes I'll reach out to some of the guests that I've had on. Like I think I've reached out to you before. And like, is this dude a good fucking guy? Or is like, you know, kind of on the other end, what you were talking about. Like I don't want to be a conflict of interest, but like, especially, we've had so many military guys on, and that's such a like. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but it's kind of a fickle thing. Like, there's a bunch of guys out there that say they've done a bunch of shit, and they actually haven't done a bunch of shit. It's like,
I know. I try to stay away from that whole department. I really do. Unless
I really love having those guys on.
I love it, but at the same time, it's weird because it's mostly guys that I have on that I had no idea they had a military background.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's cool. But like, you know, when it all boils down to me is like, for the podcast situation, it's all about me just having a good conversation across.
That's
the
what
table.
this has turned into for me too. It's like fuck everything else. Like
Yeah.
if I never make another dime from this, I think I'd still do it. You know, like I'm fortunate that it does make some money to pay for all this shit and pay for some people to edit it and you know, do some cool shit here and there. But
we're nowhere rich, but we're doing it because we love it, right?
Yeah.
And then that's what I'm saying is like, I'm lucky enough where I can cut back a lot of things, and do I still hustle on the side? Yeah, absolutely. But it's more like a hustle for how can I make my podcast better?
Yeah.
Or who can I bring in, or what sponsorship, or what partner, or whatever. I like money. Right? Who doesn't like money? And that's my motivation.
Makes shit easier. I mean, my thing is with it, like, I hate doing advertisements.
Yeah.
I love the sponsors that we have. I've said no to a bunch of the people like that, too, because I want to believe in what I like. Like, but I hate, like, trying to do... The advertisements are tough for me, right? But I realized that the more that or the better that I do at those, or the better the sponsors that we have, right? The more I get to do with this. So I'd love to travel to a guest a month or something. Would be rad, dude.
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
12
cool.
a year. That's not that many.
No, and it's doable. But I think from what I've researched and what I've gotten from people that have been on Joe Rogan, he doesn't even pay for people's travel.
Yeah.
Which
which
I've always thought. But when you're at his platform, I wouldn't expect him to pay for mine. I would want to just be on the show, right?
Oh
I'd
shit!
I'd sleep in my car.
If
You know
he
what I mean?
calls me, I'm going.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you know, like
It's crazy. I know a couple of people that have said no to him.
yeah, and me too.
I'm like, holy
I'm
shit! Like, are you?
well, you living underneath a
do you
rock,
need me to
bro?
slap you,
Yeah.
bro? Like,
And I get it, and but like I always felt like, you know, when you hit a certain level, you would be like, okay, if I have, especially his caliber of guests, like but you think about it, like his guests, they can afford a plane ride to wherever he's at too. Me, I'm thinking outside. I just hate somebody coming from Denver up to Conifer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
I know. I feel
oh,
the same
man,
way. It's
let me
like,
cook you a steak or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, oh,
But you're that dude that you know, you and I are both those dudes. Is like, you're welcome to walk into my living room anytime, knock on my door,
yeah,
whatever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like podcast or not.
Yep.
Like, those are the people I want to have in here.
That's
So,
and
like,
that's like
if
me
I
too.
won't have you in my home, I don't want you here.
Well, that's kind of like, you know, my whole scenario. Like,
because it is.
it is it's my detached shop, and you know that's where I live. It's where my
It's
family
so dope, though, man.
is. Oh, it's nice.
Would have
It is.
saved me a fucking 30-minute car ride today.
Yeah, I know, right? Me too. And it literally is. That's the perk of it. I get to do what I want, whatever. I will tell you this: the other night we had the team Gaethje on, right? and Justin kept on feeding me whiskey. Me and Trevor were drinking the whiskey, and every time I would turn, my glass would get full. And when I finally watched some of the video, he's pouring it, right? And I had no idea. And I literally got smashed that night, right? And it was a good podcast, whatever. And but we stayed there for a minute, and we started, bullshitting, talking, hanging out. Dude, I didn't even make it in my house. I slept out there, passed out
on the deck,
in my couch, in the recliner in there,
hell yeah.
and I was like, I had no idea. Hey, I don't remember it at all.
Oh, I've walked home from here. Luckily, I'm only like 2 miles. Like I could have walked here faster today.
Yeah.
Or a mile and a half or something, but
yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, if I have too much to drink here, I will not get behind the wheel.
Yeah, and that's what I stress to everybody. Like I literally do.
Dude, one night I walked out of here, and you have to walk like around the lake.
Yeah.
To get to me, and it was just solid ice, dude. I was falling down fucking ice hills and shit. It was all dark. I didn't have. Like, if I would have had my hunting gear, I would have been fine. Cool. But I was walking home in Vans and a fucking hoodie
slipping
and
sliding. But you didn't, hey, do that more than DUI.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. It was way worth it.
That's why I try to tell all my guys, I'm like, bro.
But I walked in the door, and my wife was like, what happened to you? And I was like, snow and my hoodie and all kinds of crazy shit.
But that's when we were talking about, like, the guest. If I don't feel comfortable with them being at my house, I generally don't do it, right? But it's just so crazy. Like when I have people on there, it's just like I get a connection, and I'm like, oh yeah, hey Al, my wife cooked breakfast in the morning, we're good. My wife's like, who are these people? My kids are like, who's downstairs, Dad? And I'm like, oh, podcast. Oh, okay. So I usually try to have my wife or my kids come out before we start up, introduce themselves so they know, and know who who's downstairs, or they sleep in the shop. You know what I mean? Because it's all heated and everything. But it's just crazier now because you've been at my spot where I have no toilets in the shop though, so everybody goes outside, piss outside.
We live in the mountains, dude. I grew up that way. Yeah.
So now though the bears are out.
Oh yeah.
And I had my that night I slept outside. I woke up to big old scat right at my door.
Oh no shit.
And I'm thinking, dude, if my guy didn't shut the door all the way, that bear could have came in here and had its way with me. You know what I mean? And I would have had no idea because I was that hammered. I don't think I've ever been. I mean, I think I was probably white girl crazy drunk. You know what I mean? Shit. Like I was that trashed.
I had some friends one time when I was living in LA. It was a special occasion. Let's just put it at that. But they invited me out for some margaritas and shit, right? But I didn't know it. The bartender was putting Everclear.
Oh my God.
In the margaritas, and you can't taste that shit in a margarita with the sweet and sour. And I was like, man, these are really fucking good. Like, what are these? Well, they were just tequila mixed with fucking 180 proof fucking.
You were drinking.
And I thought I was just drinking margaritas, so I had like 10 of them bitches or whatever, dude,
shit.
and I was a wreck, bro. Like, it was not good.
Yeah, the Everclear will fuck you up.
Yeah.
That's how I really have noticed, like, I love whiskey.
Or actually, it was moonshine. It wasn't even Everclear. It was like homemade fucking moonshine
just
shit.
As bad.
Like, I went blind and shit that night.
I believe it. Yeah. Well, once a month with me. That's why I feel like, man, it really is scary for me because I like whiskey so much that I can it doesn't become a sip. It just becomes, I'm going to fuck this
Just
bottle
keep going.
And me and Trevor just talk. And next thing I know, that's the downfall of not being responsible of, I don't got to drive. I get to stay here.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's the downfall of it. Yeah. It is. But that's why I always try to tell people, like, man, just be responsible. If you got to stay here a few hours.
We've had a few people sleep in the studio for, like, I had this awesome girl come in town, ultra runner, and I was like, where did you come from? She's like, drove all the way from fucking Basalt or something.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, you live in Basalt? Like, I had no idea. I'm sorry. And she's like, no. She's like, I'm just going to sleep in my car tonight. And I was like, no, just, like, stay here. There's a bathroom. There's, like,
that's
nobody's going to be in here, you know?
And that was
I should really have a cot here or something.
I know, something. I know. That's what I had. I had a couch that comes into a bed, and now I took that in the house. More people can stay. I don't know.
How many years deep is the podcast?
3.
Right? Okay, because we're coming up on 3.
Yeah, 3.
Well, actually, it was 3 in April.
Yeah, so it was. Man, I want to say
that's
March.
crazy. We've been at this that long. You know,
you would never.
It's
I
gone
would
by
never
like
know
a
that,
flash. You know.
And I'm literally, you know, we talk about like the pandemic and everything, how bad that shit on everybody. To me, it was a blessing.
Me too.
Because that's when I started the podcast, and
we started right before. I had all the gear before it.
Yeah, see,
and
I
then
didn't.
It was crazy.
I'm one of those guys that I go all in right away. Like,
yeah.
If I do something, I'm all in, right? And I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, fuck, man. What am I? Well, like that thing right there. I got it for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just sitting there because I don't know how to run it. And
dude, I'm leaving on Friday, but I'll come up this week and show
That'd
you
be cool.
some stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I just don't know what cables I need to get and whatever.
Or I can show you before you leave here.
Yeah, maybe that'd be
if
nice.
it's
That'd
the
be
same
huge.
one. Yeah. Okay.
It's the mini.
Yeah,
is
the
what it
same
is.
thing we got. Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
Well, shit. Let's wrap this thing up, Luke.
I want to revisit quickly that I had the sip of.
Oh yeah. Did you ever hear the story?
Luke's demons.
Did we tell that the last time?
Luke's demon sip when we were at your house.
No, talk to
me.
I was fucking sitting next to you.
So I brought you a bottle of some sort of whiskey.
Yeah,
or
it was
some special reserve.
Yeah.
Like
dude, shit was getting rowdy. And you were sipping on a Corona the entire night. Right? Yeah, it was long. Yeah. You were drinking a Corona with whatever, and I was, and I set my fucking Corona down next to you.
This is after the podcast.
Dude, I fucking reached over and I'm talking to Bobby. I'm like, yeah, so anyway, we're going to head home. And I took a swig of this tequila, and I went,
It was a Corona bottle, but it was a spitter.
Oh,
so he drank your spit.
My bad, dog.
Dude, this is peak COVID. This is all the shit. And I'm like,
oh, you're going to get sick.
I ran right outside. I fucking puked in your yard.
That is the best.
Dude.
I did not know this. Oh, I feel bad for you.
Puke to your yard. Oh, no, it's fucking wonderful. But I didn't want to make a spectacle of it. Right. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking
He didn't tell me.
Dude, that is the best.
I'm a guest. You know, like I'm just fucking trying to keep it cool. I don't want to draw too much attention.
That's a highlight reel.
I'm bullshitting with everyone. I took this fucking swig and I'm like, oh, that's 98.6 degrees, and I fucking ran outside.
You guys might as well have made out on
that.
Yeah.
I will say this. I have literally taken Justin's spitter.
I've done.
I think everybody's done it.
Yeah,
it's not the first time.
I've drank my own spitter.
Yeah,
I've
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody else's. But
and I've had I've jungled the one. I'll drink one, spit in the other, and you get drinking, and I'm like, oh god. I think every guy's done it.
Yeah.
I think every guy's done it. But hey, man, you're still kicking, right?
Good to know you, man.
Yeah.
So you guys have a special bond.
Yeah. We're like, what do you call them? Dick and laws? Dick and laws now?
Dick and laws.
I will say this about you guys, man. I enjoy every time I come here. That's why I will never hesitate to come in here, help you out, do whatever I got to do. Come here and just do this because this is a Monday night.
Dude, we love having you,
How cool
man.
is this?
Monday Night Football. Here we go.
Yeah, how cool is this to have a Monday? And now my week's awesome. And like I said, guys, look at your schedule. We'll make it happen. Come on over. I would just love just to do this again over on my set. You know what I mean? Because
you're welcome here anytime too.
Bring
dude.
your bow.
Yeah,
and
definitely will.
Yeah, we have fun and we shoot it. Maybe we'll bring another guest in and have a little competition up there and shoot. And,
hell yeah,
and have fun. And like I said, man, if it's a lot easier to help people than bring people down. You know what I mean? Like
that's
I try
where
to build,
I'm at, dude. It's just
I
like,
build.
I'm
I try to
transparent.
build. And like Derek Wolf is a perfect example of helping people out, and it's came back to me numerous. I'm a man of karma. I believe in it, and I will never expect anything at all, but it always comes back for some reason.
I don't believe in karma, but I believe in being a good person, and I think that gets you so fucking far, man.
To me,
like,
I think it's just icing on the cake.
Genuine, man, and like celebrate other people's success. Like I talked about this before when Cam came out with his podcast. He's done so much for us, man. Like he's a fucking awesome guy. But when he came out, there was a little bit of jealousy. I was like, God damn, dude, I'm doing this all wrong. Like I just fucked up 100
No.
10 episodes or whatever.
You
right?
didn't.
And
because that's what makes your podcast your podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And regardless, how I do mine, how you do yours, how Cam does his, or how does Jocko does his, right?
Yeah.
It's
your audience.
It's your people relate to you,
Yeah.
not to Cam. Like, yeah, do we trickle down and get some cross still? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, no,
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
that's what it's all about. And I think I'd take that back. It was like a split second where I was like, God, this is so fucking good. Like,
what he's doing and the amount of guests he gets
but I turned around right away as soon as I had that, and I messaged him right away. I was like, dude, this is incredible. Like, you're setting the bar of like, good job.
Really
you know?
is.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I think he's probably looked at yours, looked at mine, he's been on Joe Rogan's for numerous times, and he's pieced it up, and he's been to an area where he has taken his workout facility, and now he did what he wanted to do: hunt or shoot, lift, run. Right?
Yeah.
And I was gonna
Lift,
fuck with
run,
him.
shoot. Right.
I was gonna fuck with him one time. I was gonna come out with the thing saying, drink, fight, and shoot, and fuck with him, but I didn't do it just because I have so much respect for the guy, right?
Yeah.
Like me and him, we message each other, and I send him out stuff, and dude, the guy sent me out shoes and stuff, like unbelievable, like
That's rad.
not even expecting it, and he just sent me out stuff, and like he likes this podcast or this and that, or like when he throws some on the IG, like.
Yeah.
Who does that? You didn't need. I'm nobody. Or
Exactly.
when he did it for
Well,
you guys.
Rogan did that for us too, man.
Yeah.
Which, I didn't ask for it, and I was just like so grateful, and
It's huge.
It's incredible
Because
man.
then the next day you wake up and you got all these blue followers coming up. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
This is crazy.
And it's nothing, to these guys. And that's why I think it's so important for
they're great role
different-
models
yeah,
for that, right?
for other podcasters to get on other podcasts because they do have a following. I have a following. And it's important that we share it because I didn't do it by myself.
Well, and I gotta attest, you're exactly that for me too. Because like when I asked you to come on, I was like a little bit nervous. I was like, "Fuck, this guy used to be a fighter," and like, you were a big guest at one point. Now you're just my buddy. You know, like
I'd rather have it that way than having some pedal stone or whatever. I like to be me, and I like having these conversations where you can have a drink of tequila with me and we can just bullshit. And having a guy like Jeremy and pull up things, it makes a podcast so much fun.
Hey, shout out to Jeremy too.
Yeah,
man. He's my ride or die since day
and
one.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have
he's
been
a
through.
G.
I've had a couple and in and out, and I love them all. And do I want like his what he does, his time away from his life and whatever? Do they? I want to give him the world.
Yeah.
And I can't literally, but I want to be sure everything is good, right?
Yeah.
And
It's fucking highlight of my week.
yeah, and you know what I say? It really is fun. The podcasting is fun.
It's so much fun.
If you're
man.
not having fun on your podcast,
Just-
you're doing it wrong. You're doing it for the wrong reason.
For me, it's not like I keep saying this, but it really, to figure it out, like I urge anybody to start one just for the human connection more than anything, because the conversations that I've had in here, you don't have at a bar.
No, you won't.
There's too many distractions, right? You don't have it on the phone. You don't have it, virtually. It's in here, man.
Yo, here's the other
That's
thing.
what-
We talk about moving. It's like these walls end up getting tattooed with all the bullshit that we end up doing here.
This is your spot, man.
This is our spot.
Eventually,
you
I
talk
want
about,
a warehouse.
I want to.
like,
No,
You do
no,
too
indoor
much.
range.
no.
Gym.
You know what?
Yeah.
We have this and then that.
Yeah.
You don't lose this.
My-
All this place is like dripping with
Yeah.
like conversation, man.
It really is.
It's special.
It
And
is.
it feels
all-
good to
it's all
be in
patina.
this space, because we migrated in out of
yeah.
the. And you've been
Right
in all
next door.
three.
Yeah,
actually.
this is cool, man. You guys got the spot now, and I like it. And it reminds me of like a radio setting now. Like
I tried to go.
yeah, it reminds me of like a Howard Stern like radio set,
100%.
And it's
Yeah.
cool. My goal is keep the shop right. I want a shop like
Your
what
place
you
is
said.
badass. Yeah.
I want a
Fucking
shop
craft table and shit.
Yeah, I want a top part where it's like a loft,
Uh-huh.
where it's upstairs. I have a podcast area where they just like this, It's quiet. It's that, and then downstairs they can do. I have my own workout, games, whatever. Shoot my bow. That's my goal, and that people could stay there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And but you know what I mean. Like I'm making shit happen. What I have now, you know, and it's good, and I wouldn't change it, you know. I don't know. Where would I be in another 3 years? I don't know. I hope I'm still podcasting.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna stay here for a minute, right? Like it's comfortable. People like coming here.
Well, Luke and I were talking about it's like, man, could you be any more nestled into
where you're at?
Oh,
like, this is the spot.
It's a good spot.
Really,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm jealous of it.
We get the occasional Harleys going by, but I kind of like the ambience. You know,
yeah, that's just
ambulances here or there.
Yeah, I mean that's anywhere. You know, and to me, I feel like when I hear your location, you're like downtown Evergreen, how cool is that? If I'm a foreigner and I've never been here, dude, I'm checking out all this sign. I'm checking it out.
Well, it's crazy because we've had some people on that they're like, oh, the mountainside, like I've heard you guys or whatever. But then when they drive up here, they come over I-70 and you cross, like there's the buffalo herd and like they're like, what in the fuck? We had no idea that
this
it was
like
here,
right?
The actual mountainside. I'm like,
yeah,
it
is good. I don't know. I honestly
but
enjoy
yours
it.
is the same. It's tucked back and a fucking rad spot.
No, it's even gnarlier.
I don't know, about
especially
that.
in the winter.
It is. It's cool. I honestly just, you know, you just make do what you have, you know, and you look at
and
Cam's
you don't need a lot.
And you look at Cam's situation. He took his workout area, did the same thing, put a table in there, and now look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't need a full blown studio. You can do it, and
look at the budget that Rogan has, and he's still doing it with one dude.
And this is one thing I will say about
I think
us.
you can overproduce shit too.
Yeah, this is 100%. And this is one thing I will say about us. And you talk about guys like Rogan, guys like Cam now that he set the bar. That it's the in-person interview, I think, and that's really one thing I will say that you're doing it. I'm doing it. Rogan's obviously doing it. Cam's doing it. And I feel like nothing that I've been on a few Zoom calls and I've done it with people and I'm just like, that's not what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And can you get by with it? Hell yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely. But once you have done this, you don't want to do the other.
No, it's so much better.
Is a jib shot going to make your conversation any better?
Right.
Yeah, to me, it's just, you know, even when you go to air it, the echoes and just the audio is just so much better. And I don't know. I just feel like, you know, the day I can't have any more guests in my place, it will probably be the day I'll probably close shop.
Well, and that's why I've flown to a couple guests too.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, I'll come to you. You know, like, we'll bring our shit. It's not as good as the studio because it's soundproofed and all that sort of shit, but still, it's good. Like the last one we did was in a hotel room, you know, but it worked out. It was cool.
Yeah, it's just awesome. A different. Same thing with the camper deal now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like, it does help with the guests, but there's nothing like having your own studio and doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
it's so nice to walk into too, and just have it's a spot, you know. Yeah,
it's
I hang out here when I'm not podcasting sometimes,
dude. It's my spot now. Like it is, like it's my. It is. It really is, and everybody knows like that. It's what they're welcome to come in. They see the light. My neighbors now come over. Sometimes I'm like,
that's the
I'm not drinking, motherfucker. Leave me alone.
We've tried to keep this incognito, but now we have to start locking the doors when we have a podcast because people will just bust in here and they're like, "What's going on?" And like, we're recording.
Yeah, that's honestly what happened, and it's a good problem to have because I want that atmosphere, right? But you know, you got to keep it still at a professional level, you know. And I don't know. I'm excited. Like I said, you guys come on mine next, and let's
do it, man. We'll keep it going. Yeah,
keep doing it, man.
Yeah, but dude, I celebrate every one of your successes, man.
Well, thank you.
So happy for you. I'm glad that we're still doing this, both of us. I didn't think it would last this long, honestly. When I first started it, I
had no idea. I had no idea
and
either.
I love doing it, and I think that's why. Yeah. So, dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Love you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Real quick, you have 3 Instagrams to follow or more, right?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
I got a personal page. It's mine, like what I do with my family. It's Luke Caudillo. But obviously the podcast is GU Unfiltered.
Definitely check that out. You guys do it live too.
Yeah.
That's
we
awesome.
do the live deal. But my main page that I try to post on stories and all that is my Gladiators Unleashed page, and just because it has more of a following and I've been doing it longer, so I just, I try to keep the podcast all on podcast, but and the Gladiators is fighting everything, what I'm doing in my life. I don't know. I hate social media, but I love it because I need it.
The same way.
You need it, especially what we doing. And
people get pissed at me because I don't respond to them all the time and stuff. But I love you guys. I have to turn it off at some point,
dude. And I'm telling you, especially now, everybody's telling me how to coach Gaethje for this next fight. And I love you all, little Gaethje fans, but fucking shut the fuck up. We know.
What did you say earlier at the bow shop? What was that?
Which one?
Something, I don't know. You had some sort of saying like mind you or
oh yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah. So, but anyways, like I said, appreciate it, guys. I really do.
Yeah, dude, love having you. You're welcome back.
Yeah,
we'll do this again in a little bit. So, yeah, awesome.
Thanks,
Jeremy. Good.
Cheers, boys.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. Also, if you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.